is going on, everyone? It is episode 189, recorded on Monday, November 20th, 2023. I'm Drew, and hey, John, how are turkeys like porn stars? First they gobble, then they get stuffed, and somebody keeps them wet the whole time.
Oh, good lord.
What is up, everybody, and happy Thanksgiving week, a day we celebrate breasts and balls. That's right, turkey breasts and footballs, John. On tonight's episode, we have another Indie World has come and is gone. The last call for Presents After Dark, and the 2023 Game Award nominees are in. John, buddy, you get back from vacation. I feel like I need another one. How you been?
Yeah, young kids equal. Yeah, you need another one. When are you taking the next one, though? I think you have one scheduled.
I do have one scheduled. I booked another one. Disney does this. They scam you right into. If you book another one within 7 days of when you get back, they do 35% off your next trip, which is pretty decent.
Wow.
So, suckered right into that sucker.
So speaking of, how was your trip? How many
was
days
good,
were
it was
you? How
great.
many days did you stay? First of all, at
7
Disneyland?
nights. It was a good
Wow.
amount. It maybe 6 nights, but it never felt too long. It never felt too short.
That's what she said.
I've never been to Disney in November, so the first 2 days were like 87 to 90 degrees and humid, and I was like, "Wow."
Really?
Yeah, and I don't mind the heat. It was fine. And then it was like overcast for like 3 to 4 days, just like cloudy. Like, okay, like 75. Like, I like this.
That's
This is
perfect.
nice. And then the last 2 days were not so great. It got the last day we were there literally poured from 7 a.m. to the time I went to bed. But in
Jeez.
Disney, it doesn't matter. You just walk around in the pouring rain. It blows my mind. Like when it's raining out when I'm at home, I won't even take the trash like out to the trash can. You know what I'm saying? Like
Hmm.
I'll just put it in the garage, say I'll do it later. But like in Disney, you just walk around outside for 10 hours and just get absolutely drenched. Like walking in puddles, my shoes like I jumped in a pool. It's
Damn.
something in you pay that money, right? And you're committed.
You're not
There's
you're not walking back in your house and sitting on your couch or anything like
no.
that. It's just like you're sitting in their restaurants and their
Yep,
rides, so it's their problem.
exactly. Yep. Um, yeah, so the last day and a half rained, but you made the best of it. We had a good time, and all the other days were pretty good, so I can't be mad about it. But
Did you do Expedition Everest?
of course, we did Expedition Everest.
Oh, did they change anything? Did
No,
they
they didn't
fix that
change it.
Yeti, or is it all
They
the same?
can't fix the Yeti. They say it's built into the foundation of the freaking ride and mountain, and it's never being fixed, according to Joe Rody.
I
But
expect more.
me too. But I did
He
all the
did
Star Wars.
promise. He did
He did.
promise.
Well, he's retired from Disney now, so that's
Yeah,
not happening.
liar.
Um, I did all the Star Wars stuff, never did that before, which was really cool.
What
We built the
what is the new Star
Rise of
Wars
the
stuff?
Resistance,
Oh, they have that in Florida too?
well,
Okay.
Galaxy's Edge.
What did you think about
Oh,
that one?
yeah. I thought Rise of the Resistance was awesome, but it's one of those rides, the first time you go on it will always be the best time. It's not like a roller coaster where you get the
Yeah.
thrill because it's the surprises on that ride that were so cool. You know what I mean? And it's like the more you go on it, I could see it getting it's not as cool. It's
It's
still
like
awesome
the
ride, don't get
script.
me wrong.
It's like Jungle Cruise. They're like, "Yeah, I know the
Yeah,
script. I know the script." My experience was
yeah,
different when I did it. I walked off and I was like, that wasn't that great." Because I was
yeah.
expecting a full-on ride, but as you know,
Mm,
most of it is cosplaying, and the
yes,
ride actually even the ride part starts off a little like whatever, and then it gets really good, and I was like, "God,
it
there was only,
does.
like, 1 drop," but then when I like, in the weeks that came after the more I thought about it, I was like, "Actually, that was
Mhm.
pretty good." It's just my
It is cool.
expectations were completely out of whack as to what it was gonna be.
I'm assuming it's the same ride as California and Florida, but, like, when you go into the room with, like, the full size, like, ATAs,
Uh-huh.
um, it's like those, and then you have like the stormtroopers shooting at you and stuff. There's some cool stuff in there from scale. The scale is pretty cool.
The
And then
scenic.
we built a lightsaber. That was expensive and fun,
Oh,
but Evan wanted to do it. We did. I figured I'd put it up on his wall and stuff at home.
yeah.
So, but yeah, we had a good time. We did a lot of fun stuff. Like I said, I haven't been in over 5 years, so for the kids, it was a lot of like brand new stuff for them.
Hmm.
Um, and a couple of the bigger rides Evan didn't want to go on, but he's a champ. He just waits, and Zoe gets to go on pretty much twice, so she's pumped.
Okay. Um, did the thing is, Disney World is so huge
It
that
is
even if you've gone a couple times, there's always something new you can find to do to give yourself a new experience. We don't get that in Disneyland.
exactly right.
Yeah,
There's
so it's
so
like
many things like I. There's no way you can go to every show and on every ride.
right.
And that's the part, right? Last time we went to Disney when the kids were much younger, there was a lot of characters, right? A lot of waiting in lines to see a character. Zoe didn't really care that much. Evan wanted to see a few, but not crazy amount. So like maybe two a day, which I was okay with. That's
Hmm.
it's not a big deal. If that's he wants to go see like a sorcerer, like Mickey dressed up as sorcerer Mickey. Like, all right, that's a little different and cool. Let's go do that.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, it was definitely a fun time. Yeah, I think I told you we bought annual passes, John. So we're
Yeah,
going
how many
back
times
at
are you
least
planning
once.
on going? Because
They say if you go to the parks 12 times in a year, then you should buy an annual pass. So we went
how are you
7
gonna?
times
Oh, I see.
already.
It's 12 like days.
12 days,
Okay,
right? So we
okay.
went, yeah. And I figured too, like maybe Amy and I could go for like a weekend one time. And if we did it like a cheap flight, like a last minute cheap flight, we'll go down there for the weekend and stay at a cheap hotel and it'll be free. Um, the park would be free.
What are you gonna tell the
But yeah,
kids?
exactly. They'd be
We
pissed.
snuck off to Disney without you.
Yeah, just for the
You better get
weekend.
your stories ready.
Yep. Uh, but no, yeah, they also do like 20% off merchandise, 10% off every food item that you buy there. And it includes like the park hopper, which we didn't originally buy. So that was nice because there was like two nights that we ended up like going back to Epcot at night to go on a couple rides that we wouldn't have been able to do without the season pass. So,
Right.
like you
Where
said,
did
that
you
we didn't
stay?
even we stayed at Port Orleans French Quarter. It's one of our favorite resorts. It's the
Oh, okay.
smallest resort on property. So it's kind of cool. We had a nice
Uh,
little close to walk to the bus stop.
yeah, the last time we went there, we went at not French Quarter, but the other
Oh,
Louisiana
Riverside.
one, the
Yep.
Riverside. Yeah,
Yep.
because you could take a boat. Did you ever take the boat?
Yep. We took the boat to Disney
Okay.
Springs. Yep.
It takes a while, but it's kind of an
I
interesting
know.
experience. It's
I
forever though.
I agree. I agree. It's not ideal, but it's fun to do. We did it twice, I think.
Yeah, the buses are the biggest pain. But they have the gondolas. I don't know if they go to
Yeah.
French Quarter or not, but the
Yep.
gondolas are. I really want to do the gondolas.
Oh, the Skyliners. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They
Yeah,
don't go to French quarters now. The
yeah,
cool thing they do about the buses now, they have TVs at every bus stand, and you look on the app, and it tells you when the next bus for that part is going to be there. So you can
yeah.
kind of like at least know a little bit and plan it.
The thing
But
is, like, depending on what hotel you're in, sometimes you get the bus early, and then sometimes you get the bus later. And so
correct.
buses can pull up that are full for some people, and it's
Yeah.
just like it's kind of a
So that's
mess.
why I like French Quarter because there's one bus stop,
Hmm.
so it's always empty every
Okay.
time.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
yeah, it was good trip. Good trip. Well needed trip, I think.
Yeah.
But what have you been up to?
Not much. Just hanging around. I've got this week off from work, so that's really nice.
Oh,
And
nice.
tomorrow we're gonna go on a tour of CU, Colorado University. So
Oh.
maybe we'll see Coach Prime while we're there. But this is our third tour. I've this is only my second tour. Michelle did a tour with Cedric, just those two. But
Hmm.
yeah, I've never been on the CU campus, so that should be interesting. And we're going tomorrow morning, so it's in Boulder, Colorado.
Nice.
And yeah, no, I'm kind of excited to see it. It's our rival school, but yeah, I've just never seen it before.
Very
Um,
nice.
now I have a situation. This came up, and I already told Michelle that I was going to be talking about it on the show.
Okay.
So this
Hear it.
is like I need wife advice. Okay. Here's the situation. Tell me what you think. We started putting up the Christmas tree last Saturday. Okay. Well,
Okay.
a week and a couple days ago. And we do things more slowly now. I don't know if it's just because we're getting older or I'm just tired of doing like 3 hours of Christmas prep.
I
So I
mean,
do it
it's not
slowly.
like you're
So
70, John. I
I,
mean,
well, no, it's just like I don't like doing it all at once. It's exhausting. So what I'll
it is a lot.
do is I bring up the tree and fluff it up and put it in the corner, and then I'm good. We'll
Yep.
bring up the bins. And then
Yep.
over the course of a few days, when you get some time, put up a few ornaments. The kids can put up an ornament, whatever.
Sure.
So the boxes were hanging around. I was putting up a bunch of ornaments, but Michelle was slacking. And then finally, I said, like, are you done putting up ornaments? I knew she wasn't. Are you
Yep.
done putting up ornaments? I can take the bins down. She's like, oh, I'll do that today. So she did it, and then so it was Thursday night. I noticed she had set up the bins. They were all covered up and they were all stacked up. And I was like, okay, she's done. That was Thursday night. And then Friday, she did some sub work at school. And then Friday night, but like nothing changed, whatever.
Hmm.
Saturday, I think she went somewhere in the morning. And so I was just trying to get things done. And I was like, okay, I'm going to take the bins downstairs. So I do. So I take the bins downstairs, and on top of there's 3 bins, and on top of the third set of bins was like a half dozen little Christmas decorations, maybe like 10 or so little things, whatever. So I was like, oh, whatever. So me and Cedric, we brought the bins down. So she comes home and she sees that the bins are gone. And she walks into my office and she's like looking over my computer and she goes, "Did you bring the bins down?" And I go, "Yeah." And she does like, you know what it is. Here, I'll do it for you. The eye roll, the
Yep.
disgust, like, like what a stupid man, like that sort of like thing.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
we've
Yeah.
all seen that. And like I was annoyed. I was I was like, I brought the bins down. The bins have been there for like over a day and a half. You were
Did my
done.
job.
And she's like, "What did you do with the things on top of the bin?" And I said, I brought them downstairs. And she's just like, she was just so disgusted. And I was like what? She's like, "I wasn't done with those." And it's like, "But they were on top of the bins. You were done. You haven't done anything since Thursday." And so we had a whole discussion on the way to Starbucks because that's what we do on Saturday mornings. And I said, "What did you expect? What did you want me to do?" And she said,
Mhm.
I expected you would just ask me." And I said, "Well, it was like, why would I ask you?" And she's like, "Because they weren't done." So it was this whole discussion about if I asked you about every single action I could possibly take,
Yep.
you would probably hate me and think I'm a useless husband as it is.
Fair
So
point.
was I wrong to take the bins down that seemingly were ready to be taken down, or should I
I mean,
have asked?
you're asking the wrong guy because I'm always like to pick up. It wouldn't have made it to Saturday probably. I would have taken him down much earlier than that. But I I think it's fair game if you're putting something away that can always be taken back, right? For
Right.
example, like if you cleaned up her supper dish and there was still food on the plate and you cleaned it and put it in the garbage, that's no longer retrievable. So like if you didn't say, "Hey, are you all set?" That's on you. But something like the Christmas decorations, all right, no problem, honey. I'll go back downstairs and get them for you. So, you know
Oh
what I'm
no,
saying?
no,
I
I'm
think,
not doing that. No, no, she had to go downstairs and grab. No, but I
but
understand what
I
you
think
mean.
that's
Like
the fine line.
if she had put the bins to the side and then like an hour later, maybe I would have said, "Are you done with these?" But when it's like a day and a half and they haven't moved, and if like, because if I had done that, I would have said to her, "Don't move these." I would have said to her, like, "Don't move these bins yet. I'm not done with them because I know they look
Mhm.
like I'm done." Yeah, all she had to
She
do
could
was
have,
go
I mean,
downstairs and grab a
she
few
saw
things.
you between Thursday and Saturday, so she could have said, "Hey, that
Oh yeah,
stuff, I still need to put that away."
right, exactly. Yeah. So
Hmm.
maybe the punishment here is I should ask her everything. Like, is it okay if I get up and go to the bathroom? Is it okay if I change the channel? Is it okay? Just ask
Or that time she's
everything.
like, "Shit, hey, do you need me to wipe your ass?" Just
Exactly. Is it okay if I turn the bidet on? It might be noisy. Yeah, I don't know. I'm asking you because I know you'll be on my side for sure.
That is true. I'm
Us
always
us
on your side,
dads
John.
us dads have to stick together. Yeah, that's all I got. Philly, nice Eagles Chiefs game to watch. The
Yeah,
Kelsey brothers going against each other.
looks like it's raining a little bit.
It looks a little foggy. I'm definitely pulling for the Eagles here because my Broncos are suddenly in the race.
Oh, jeez. I'll tell you
Four in
who's
a
not in the race.
row. 4 in a row, and I don't think we'll catch the Chiefs. But hey, if the Chiefs could lose, it'd be a little closer. I'll take it.
Good point. You never know. You never know. Hockey season is back and we're gearing up for some icy action. But before you hit the rink, make sure you look ready with the real all-star of the leads, the Handyman by Manscaped. The dual action foil shaver is your ultimate power play against the unruly facial hair. It will have your face as smooth as freshly zambonied ice. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code NINDADS, NINDADS, at manscaped.com. Again, that's 20% off and free shipping with the code NINDADS, NINDADS, at manscaped.com. Perfect time for the holidays. You got to order it now, John, right? So you can get in time for your uncle, your father-in-law, your brother, your mom, your sister, whatever it might be. They all manscape, whether you think so or not. They need to. It's good for them. It's
Yeah, I
healthy.
think we've talked about
We have.
having the balls, if you will, to gift that up, to have them open up at a gathering.
Maybe that's a presence after dark situation here.
Could be,
Yeah.
could be.
And speaking of that, we'll get to that shortly. But that's all I got, John, for now. We want to move on to what you've been playing.
Yeah, let's talk about it. And I have played a lot.
You've been busy.
I have played a lot. We can ping pong. I probably have a few games I can go through pretty quickly. I finished my replay of Shadow of the Colossus on PS5. I played the remake. Have you played this game before? No.
I, why did that sound so familiar?
It's the one where, I mean, you can select the text in the document. I don't know if that'll help you. Oh, you're googling.
I'm
I know
looking at
that's
it
what you're
right
doing.
now.
It is the game where
Sounds
you
familiar.
have to fight 16 colossi. That's all. There's no other enemies in the game, just these 16 bosses. And it came out on PS2. They remastered it for PS3. That's when I played it and loved it.
No, I've
But they
never
did a
never
whole
played this one.
remake for it on PS4. And I gotta say, I didn't love it as much this time. I didn't love it as much.
I've
Navigating the
not played
world
this.
is a pain. Did you?
I never played it.
Oh, okay. It was a really fun game. I thought it was really fun back in the day. I think we've just gotten so many big open world games and stuff like that that I don't know, navigating the world to
Mm.
get to the Colossus was nightmarish, especially the second half of the game. But then fighting the monsters was really fun. So once I got to fight the monster, I had a lot more fun. But the navigation was a real pain in the butt. So yeah, I'm glad to have replayed it and seen the remake, but that's about it. Diablo 4 Season of Blood Season 2. I actually did start a new character to see if I could actually
Oh
enjoy
my
the game.
god.
I was super
You're not
curious to
staying with
see.
this.
Oh, I'm already done. Yeah. I was just super curious to see what just playing a seasonal character playing a season was like and not playing the main campaign. I got bored after like a couple days. I thought I was going to have more fun with it. I did initially, but yeah, I think I'm done with Diablo 4. I can't see
Diablo's so
trying a
funny.
season
It's
3.
just they're such good games, but like they can get boring very quickly. It's like you're going, you're addicted, and then all of a sudden you just hit a wall and you're like, that's it. I'm done. It's just a weird thing. I don't know how to explain it.
You level up quickly in the beginning. Every like when you start and go from level 1 to 2 to 3 and you get like new attacks, it feels so good. And
It
then when that
does.
slows down and it becomes very minute detail of what you're gaining, it just makes it a lot less fun. And
Do you think it would be more because they reset the Paragon levels? They still do that every season?
it's not the same as Diablo 3, but honestly, I don't understand it all too well.
Hmm.
But it is different.
Well,
You get these skill points every time you level up until you hit level 50.
yep.
And then there's other ways to get some skill points. And that's just sort of how they do that with the tree. But it's just different. I don't know. I can't really speak to it, but I just know I just got bored. Um, I got really bored. And the way I
Yeah.
see it is if you're gonna play a game where you have to grind and fight enemies over and over again, Monster Hunter is just so much more fun. I would rather play
See, I got
Monster
bored of
Hunter.
Monster Hunter too.
But, like, at least when you're fighting a monster, there's some skill and you're dodging and you feel like a person in the world. In Diablo, you're just holding down an attack button and then one of your skills, cools down, and then you
Yeah.
use it and then you have to wait 10 seconds.
I mean, yeah, I can't speak for Diablo 4. I haven't played it, but I mean, I don't know. I think I still just get caught up in the old school MMOs and stuff like that.
Yeah. So I'm kind of done with that. And then
Hmm.
I guess we can go back and forth after this, but I replayed Blasphemous because I
Well,
wanted to
talk about
play
this.
Blasphemous 2, but it had been so long since I played the first one. So I decided to just kind of try and replay the first one. I really forgot how great this game is as a Metroidvania. It's
Mm,
it's like slathered in this, I don't know how to describe it, this religious everything is like super old world religious. The guy wears this like cone hat and like everything has this old meaning that I would think even like religious people of today wouldn't even really know. It's just this old world stuff.
mhm,
And after a while, it gets a little irritating because you get an item and it's like, oh, this item just rejuvenates your health. But they give it some backstory about, oh, it's about cleansing your sins and all this. And it's like, it's a health pack. Like, let's stop already. And everything is like lathered in it. But the level design is really cool. The You just constantly go into areas like you're lost. You go into an area and there's just always some secret that you'll find and some new skill will help you with.
yeah.
It's
Well,
really it's a really good game.
you texted me about this and was like, "Oh, it's on sale." And you almost sold to me, and then I was like, "Give me more info." And it's a Metroidvania. I'm like, I'm out. I just
I definitely wasn't trying to sell you on it. That was you.
no, but I think you talked about it, and then
Yeah.
I did a little bit of research, and it looked interesting, and then
I
yeah.
I wasn't sure if I wanted to just play 2 or play 1. I'm kinda glad I played 1, but I'm gonna probably come back to 2 in December. So I'm excited for it. I think I had about 77% completion this time around, so not bad. I think I got a little bit more complete than I did last time, and it didn't take forever. It didn't take that long. I got really
Hmm.
wrapped up in it, but, I have some more interesting games I played, but let's, kinda ping pong back and forth. Why don't you tell me something that you played?
Yeah, so I've been playing a little bit of Mario Party 3, John, because it came out on the NSO for N64. This was one of my favorite games back in the day because there's some unique play style in Mario Party 3, if you don't know. So there's a story mode. Again, it's Mario Party, so take that with a grain of salt. But there's a story mode where you play one of the maps. You have to come in first place, and when you win, um, you have like this stamp card. You get a stamp for every map that you come in first place. But before you get the stamp after you beat that map, they they have this duel mode, and a character will come on the screen, and they'll duel you, and it's this 1v1, and it introduces this new game concept where there's a new map or new board, and it's only for 1v1, and you get almost buddies. I forget what they call them, or companions, whatever they call them, and you can put them in front of you or behind you. Like there's Thwomp, there's a Goomba, there's Babam, there's all different types of these guys. There's even Bowser Jr., etc. And the concept is you need to roll the dice, and if you run into another character with one of your companions, the companion's going to attack them. Or if you get attacked from behind, you have someone behind you, and it's a much smaller board. It kind of is in a circle, so the concept with little shortcuts. So the concept is to just try to pass the people. There's a lot of 1v1 mini games involved, and there's a couple other twists, but you play these in the story modes in between every full Mario Party game, and I always just thought it was a cool little unique little twist. So I've been playing it. I'm like halfway through the story mode. It's just a nice little let me jump on and play a game of Mario Party. It's the only thing that I will say is since they redid the Superstar Mario Party
Mario
that
Party Superstars, yeah.
yes. So a lot of like the mini games are are remade for that. So like the best ones are now kind of remade, but it's okay. It's still it's I'm having fun with it. Simple as that. Something, free game to play, right?
Did you play it on the plane, or have
I
you been
did
playing it
play
at
I did
home?
play some on the plane. I did. It was a relaxing game on the plane. Um, I also played. I'll just jump right into it. Wargroove 2 a little bit. Um, I told you I had the last campaign to go. It's not the last one. It's the pirate campaign.
Mhm.
So I played, like you said. I love Wargroove 2. I love the characters. I love the enemies and the play style. But it's definitely a game that you can't just so play for 3 hours straight. Like you play one battle, maybe two, and then you need a break. Um, and it's very wordy for like a tactical game like this, and
It's so wordy.
it, it's just yeah, you just want to play, just let me play. And then when you jam it, like you want to jam A, but then you're like, well, shit, am I missing something? Because you're missing the story, right? And that's the
Yeah.
whole point. If you're gonna jam A, you're gonna miss the story. So do you want to just commit to just not caring about the whole story? It's not like some games where you can kind of do half. Like you gotta commit to one or the other. I'm here for the story, or I'm not here for the story. And it's tough to just say I'm gonna skip the entire story of a campaign. It's hard to say that.
Right,
So you
because
end up reading
once
it.
you skip the story, then it doesn't feel as fun. Like, you need that
Yeah,
story to be a little bit more efficient because you
agreed.
don't wanna skip it. Then you start doing battles and you don't know why, and you're just on a death march.
Correct. So I did not skip it, but like it drains you. So I ended up doing like two battles, which
What
don't
did
run. Some of the
you
battles are 30, 40 minutes.
Yeah, Wargroove has always had long battles, although I feel like the battles might have been longer in Wargroove. That or just I'm better at Wargroove, so it was faster.
Hmm.
What did you think of the way they had like 4 different campaigns that largely were not super connected to each other? They certainly weren't sequels or anything. What did you think of having these like 4 smaller campaigns versus the original game that
Yeah.
had this one big campaign?
I I liked the original story 10 times better with the flow of the bad guys and the characters. And yeah, this one felt very odd. It's almost like 4 mini games, like individual games
Yeah.
built into it. I don't really know what they were trying to do with that. So, yeah, I agree. I think I just love the art style. I do love the characters and the charm of them and the level designs and like it's just too much story for these types of games. And the stories are kind of weird, so they're not good. I guess that's the problem. Maybe if they were like good stories, you would care more, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. They started off with the mouse people and then it was like, okay, this is kind of neat. And then it was like
Yeah.
immediately it was like, what a mess. And then
Mhm.
the end of the last game, everybody's like friends together. And then in this one, between the 4 campaigns and the
Yeah.
roguelike mode that had these weird stories about getting
Mhm.
birthday gifts and whatever, like it just lacked a story. And I'll say it again. I feel like they should not have brought the characters from the first game to this one. It became too,
They could
like,
have brought
lopped
well,
on.
you know what it was? I think they could have brought some. They tried to bring all of them, and it was
Mhm.
too much. Like
Right.
just pick 3 to 5 of your favorite characters and bring them over, and then that's fine. You don't need to bring them
Mhm.
all over.
Right.
The other part that really bothered me was like these in between levels where it's like you have to move your character through a castle and there's no enemies. And it's like
Right.
you only can move 4 spaces at a time, and then it's going to say like end turn, turn 2. But you're not fighting, you're literally just walking. And it was like really weird. I don't know.
Yeah. Some of them you moved 4 spaces, and then you could just move 4 spaces again, and then move them again till
Yeah,
you got to a square. It's super bizarro. Like I said, I thought it was gonna be a pirate game, and
me
that was
too.
just, like, one sub-story of a campaign. That was it. And it didn't have an identity. I'll never remember that. I'll still remember the first game and the overarching storyline. This game,
And
I'll
that
never
last
remember the
battle and
story. It
stuff.
was
Yeah.
yeah, like it was just never. They didn't have
I
any
mean,
side quests in this one either. It was just you just went through the
no.
campaign.
I will say it I don't know if it will be close. It might still make my top 10 of the year just because I do love the concept of Wargroove 2 and the characters. It's just what they did with this compared to the first one was eh.
Hmm.
I mean, and again, I haven't even finished it yet, so it's hard to say it's going to be on any list without finishing it. But
Not on my top 10, that's for sure. Speaking of wordy tactics games, I've been playing Persona 5 Tactica, which I've been really excited to play. It came out the same day as Mario RPG, and this is the Persona 5 universe. It's like sort of a sequel to Persona 5, but it's a tactics based game. Looks like Mario and Rabbids, more than a Wargroove.
Okay.
And I did a first look for it for the Nintendo Dads. It is very stylish. It's trying to imitate the first game, not quite. It doesn't quite do it as well, but it's got a lot of the same stuff to it. And the Persona system's a little bit different here. In fact, they just opened up the Persona system more widely, so all the characters can have multiple personas, but you can only choose one in a battle. You can't like pick between them when you're fighting. And whatever, I don't have a criticism of that. I think it's just probably made more sense for the game. It has been very chatty. And before every battle, there's like some storyline that happens. And then there is like, you can go to this room and then there might be some chat. And then there's like talk
Mhm.
features. And then there's more chat. It's just endlessly chatty. But you have to do the
Aren't
talk because you'll actually earn skill points. I forget what they call
oh,
them,
jeez.
but they'll
Aren't
give you
all
skill
Persona
points.
games chatty?
They do have dialogue, but I don't know what it is. It just works better in Persona 5, I guess. Or I think it's chatty, but then you have some action, and then it's chatty, then you have some action. I was playing the game before we started the show, and I had about 25 minutes, and I didn't do a single battle. It was all chat and very slow running tutorial. I don't know how long the game is. I'm getting the impression that there's not a ton of levels, that they're padding it out with all of this chat. That's the only thing it can be. It is pretty wordy.
Mhm.
When I've actually done the battles, I've enjoyed the tactics there. It's not just like, shoot a guy. There's all these like things you can do. Like if you hit them in the right way and they go down, then you get another attack. There's this triangle attack thing you can do. There's melee attacks that can cause some interesting things to happen. There's the personas. So it is very varied. And I'm about 3 hours in and it's still tutorializing and holding my hand a lot. So I'm waiting for it to really open up. So it has potential and everything, but it hasn't gripped me yet because I just feel like it's still so slow right now. So I'm hoping that changes. But yeah, it looks pretty,
Mhm.
and I love the way they do the characters. Oh, also, like your characters from the game get sort of brainwashed slash kidnapped, and what happens is you have to rescue them, and yeah, like it's every battle I go in, it's like change party, and it's like I only have the 3 people, and only until the battle I'm about to do is are they going to actually let me change characters. But it keeps letting you change the party when you only have the same 3 characters. So
Okay.
I also played WarioWare Move Its campaign
Oh boy.
yesterday. We played
The
through
whole
the
thing?
we played through the entire campaign in one sitting. It was about
Wow.
a little bit more than 2 hours, I would say.
Okay, that's not bad.
I love that the campaign was 2 player. So I started off with me and Melody, and then Cedric wanted to play. So after we finished one of the, I mean, what would you call it? Like a little mini story, like, a mini, area.
Mhm.
Then I would trade off to Cedric and then he would be in. And then after that round, I would trade back in. And we just did that. We did all the levels. And I love that I love the 2 player campaign. I also loved that if you messed one of them up, the other person had a chance to do it right
Yes,
and
I
save
I
you.
did like that as well. I
So
did
that
enjoy
was
it. Did
cool.
you listen to what I told you to about the voice of Wario and your thoughts on it?
Yeah, it's definitely a different voice. He did talk a lot too.
Definitely different.
It wasn't
He
it wasn't
does,
just
but it
it
didn't
wasn't
I
just
mean,
wah,
it
it was like he was talking.
but it didn't bother me,
No.
and I don't think the average person would have, like I said, no, I mean, but
Yeah, no, it was fine.
it was fine, I
Um
agree.
yeah, but it was fun. It basically had unlimited continues, right? I mean, like if you lost all your lives, you did a
Correct.
pose, and it was all very easy, and then you got 4 more lives left. I don't know what I think about that. I think that's very accessible for, like, in my case, families. But some of the fun of WarioWare is you do a particular area and you get a certain set of puzzles, and then you lose, and you have to
Hmm.
start over from the beginning. But really, starting over from the beginning is not that big a penalty. It's only about like 10 or so puzzles you have to do, or 15 puzzles or something like that. And then, you fight a boss. So if you ever lost and you had to do it all over again, you're just better at it. And I don't know why they did unlimited continues. It sort of felt like pressureless, that like, oh, it's okay, we all died. We're just gonna get 4 more lives again. That's it. So if I could change one thing, it would be that. And then it unlocked some, I guess, 2-player levels after I finished. And I'd like to do that, but I haven't convinced any of my kids to do that one. Another game that I played on PlayStation 5 was Until Dawn, and oh my gosh, I loved this game. This is made by Supermassive Games. These are the people that did The Quarry, and this is from 2015, which is really amazing because this is 7 years before The Quarry, and a lot of the bones of the game are very similar. It's a group of like teenage type people, and they have to survive the night. And there's some like supernatural stuff going on. And it's just so similar. I didn't realize that The Quarry was so similar to that. But for a 7-year-old game, it actually looks really good. And I totally got into all the characters. And it's just it's a purely narrative game. You have to make choices, but they do let you move around. So there's sequences where you're holding like a flashlight, which is usually your phone, which I think is a really cool modern sort of touch for it. And yeah, you have characters that you have to try to keep alive. They're dying, and you don't really know what's going on. And this story has a few different storylines that are happening, but I absolutely loved it. It's instantly one of my favorite horror games. It's definitely scarier than The Quarry as well. And it doesn't even need a remake. It's actually really good. It really held up well. So if you love narrative games and haven't tried this one, I would definitely recommend it. I think it's on PS5 and probably. Oh no, this is actually published by Sony, which I thought was weird. But they published this one, so this is a PlayStation exclusive. But the company has made games that are not Sony games. So, and then the last game that I'm playing right now is Dredge.
I thought you weren't gonna play this.
I played the demo and it was like, that was fine, but it's just a fishing game. I wasn't sure if I was gonna like it, so I didn't want to pay for it. And then I accidentally bought it. Uh I
How does that
accidentally
happen?
it somehow got in my cart, and then I went to buy another
That's
game and
right.
I pressed the buttons too fast and I realized I bought it.
We've all done
So,
that with something.
but I was interested in the game enough that it actually had to somehow managed to get into my cart. So it wasn't like I didn't want to play it. I actually was still kind of thinking about it. And it's got its hooks in me real good. It's a really good game. I totally get why a lot of people love this game. It basically takes all of the when you think about a game where you're doing a grind, kind of like we talked about with Diablo,
Mhm.
one of those games where you get quests to do, and then you do them, and like ticks them off, and then you get like a power up, and then you feel more powerful, like you really feel it, and so you want to keep playing because
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you'll get an upgrade to your boat's your motor, so you go faster, and it's like, oh, I want to play because I want to see I'm faster now. I want to play a little bit more, and then you'll get an upgrade to like your fishing nets and everything. And it's like there's always something that keeps you wanting to play a little bit more.
Okay.
Maybe you're going to go grind and catch a bunch of fish and make a bunch of money so you can buy some cool things. It's just so perfectly attuned. There's always something that's really close to upgrade to or do. And I'm totally. It's got its hooks in me real good. I'm pretty far into it. I don't know where the ending is in this game, but I'm really loving it, and I'm definitely excited to eventually play the DLC, which came out last week. I definitely recommend this one. I've really enjoyed it. I won't even say the demo didn't do it justice. I played the demo for like 20 minutes and it was like,
Hmm.
okay, but it really does expand and it does an excellent job with it. So I think they did a great job. I think this one was nominated for Indie Game of the Year as well.
Hmm.
It's really fun, and I'm really curious to see if there's a motivation to play the game again. It's one of those games you kind of
Wait,
do.
how long is it?
I haven't finished it. I don't think it's super long.
Hmm.
I don't think it's super long. It doesn't feel long. Like I'm not at a point where I'm like, oh, this game's really dragging.
Yeah.
I'm just having a lot of fun with it, and then every so often I stop and I do some side quests, and then I push the story forward. It's just a lot of fun, especially once you get your boat to move a lot faster. You just start cranking and finding some, materials that can buy you some upgrades, and then you get some fish, and then you find some weird fish, and then you can expand. Every time you catch a fish, you have to put it on your boat, and it looks like a Tetris board,
Yeah. Yeah.
a
Yeah.
small board, and you have to kind of fit them in and like in their different shapes. But then you start getting more and more space on your boat. So you start going on fishing trips and catch a couple sharks and throw them in there.
Hmm.
Like I said, it's one of those games. There's some games that even when you power up, you don't feel that much more powerful. And then there's games that when you power up, you feel it. And this is one of those games.
Hmm.
So really love it. Really interested to see how the DLC is. But yeah, definitely recommend that one.
Very
That's
nice.
everything that I've been playing.
Well, John, I've been playing. I went the opposite way, and I've been playing Mario RPG. Uh, like you, have never really played it on the Super Nintendo. I maybe played it like through the first world or second world. I don't really remember that. I remember a little bit of like the sewer and I remember the opening scenes, but I didn't really remember the game at all. Um, I am hooked. They did a awesome job at the animation of this game and the way it looks, the way it feels. Again, I can't talk to how it was before if they did any quality of life improvements, but for an RPG, I love how quick it is to get this game rolling. Like, for example, even battles. You get into a battle super fast. y- Once you beat your enemy, you get out of that battle super fast. There's not like this big extravagant um like leveling up system like right after where it's trying to tally everything or any load screens. It's super quick, which I absolutely love. It's in and out of battles, which kind of encourages you to fight more monsters. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes
Mhm.
RPGs like Xenoblade was always a good example. It's like you wanted to fight a lot of enemies because it leveled you up, but you knew that a battle could take like 5 to 7 minutes, which was ridiculous for just like an everyday normal enemy. But, like,
Mhm.
if you can beat an enemy in less than 60 seconds and move on, or maybe, like, 30 seconds if you like, I'm all in, like, that I'll stop and I'll fight more guys to level up, so, the quicknesses of the battle, again, I don't know if that's, like, an improvement or if that's how the old school game was, but really enjoying that. The upgrading system for your items is super simple, right? You pretty much can have a weapon, some type of armor, and some type of accessory. That's
Mhm.
it. Each character has 3 items. The only thing I'll say that was kind of interesting is so this new take on how you can do your action commands, right? To make it like AoE damage and stuff like that. It's all based on the timing of when you hit an enemy. So the weird part, John, that I keep finding is when you get like a new weapon, right? So I'm gonna use Mario, for example, right? You can get a hammer, and then later in the game, you get like a Cooper shell that you throw at people. When you go to hit A is very different because the hammer, you walk up to the enemy and you take a big swing, and then you want to hit A as he hits the guy. The Koopa shell, for example, you throw it up in the air and you kick it at somebody. So, like, just when you get your A timing down for a character and their weapon, you upgrade, you buy a new weapon, and now you have to figure out that timing again
Mhm.
because it's very different. And I guess it's cool because it keeps you on your feet rather than for the whole game you're just pushing A. At least it's now like you gotta time it differently, so you kinda have to pay attention. I don't know if I love it. I don't know if I hate it. I can't really decide yet, but it's definitely a different take on your action command and how it works.
Is that different than, like, the Paper Mario games? Because isn't that how those games are? You use the hammer and you
Correct. Um, but when you
I mean
use the hammer in Paper Mario, I think you hold the left joystick and you push A when it lights up.
right.
So it's kind of the same motion. It's just a I guess the
I
difference is when you push A. You might push a half a second into it. You might push a second and a half into it, which is
and I guess,
obviously
like, in
a
those
different.
games, you have it's like hammer and boots, like, the whole game, I mean, essentially, right?
Yeah, pretty much. And you can upgrade your hammer and upgrade your boots. But this one
Right.
you can get different, which is
Different.
again pretty nifty. But for the most part, it's the same concept, right? Bowser, you can get chain chomp, so you can throw the chain chomp. One item is you get gloves and you literally pick up Mario and you throw Mario at the enemy. So it's just different action commands. You're just pushing A at a different time,
Mhm.
which is fine. It's just it's it throws you off, but it keeps you on your feet as well. Um, so I do like all that stuff. I love how it's easily to upgrade. Um, and then overall, for me, then the first time playing this game, I just love the quirkiness, uniqueness of this game, the dry humor, the fun of it. Uh, a lot of cool characters that I never really knew were in this, right? So this was Super Nintendo days, right? So was this after this was after Super Mario World, right?
Yep.
Right. So it's cool to see just a lot of these random characters that even throwback to Super Mario 2 and just unique enemies, right? It's just a lot of fun. The different environments. It's not your traditional, snow levels and desert levels, and it's different and it's a lot of fun. So I'm really enjoying it. I'm almost 9 hours in already. I have, I think, 5 of 7 stars. Again, I don't know what that means. I don't know if it means if I get 7 and it ends. I don't know if I get
I've heard it's a
7.
relatively short game to credits.
Yeah, I don't
I
know
don't
if I get
know.
7 and
Yeah.
I'm halfway done. I don't know, but I know it says there's 7 and I have 5. So, I
Okay.
think I'm getting there.
And Paper Mario, I can't speak to all of them, but I never forget they all blend in. But I think with Origami King, there was no. Correct me if I'm wrong. There was really no motivation to do battles, and I know a lot of the Paper
Mm.
Mario games have that sort of problem where it's like, why should I do this battle? Like in the sticker games, why should I do this battle? I just have to use stickers, and I don't want to use stickers. I want to save the stickers, and you don't get like leveling points, whereas in the
Oh.
RPG games you do.
I don't remember Origami. I know for a fact the original and Thousand Year Door, you do get star points, which is experience points, and every 100 star points, you get an upgrade. So you level up, and then you can pick, +5 flower power, +5 health, or
Mhm.
+5 or badge +3 badges. You can always do those in those 2 games. I don't remember Origami King. So there was always incentives to battle, um, in at least the original 2 Paper Marios.
Yeah, I don't remember with Origami King if that
I don't
was there,
remember
but
either
like
for some
in
reason.
order to get from like point A to where you needed to go, point B, you had to fight enemies. So your
Mhm.
motivation was I need to get to where I need to go. But like, yeah, going out of your way, maybe not so motivated. I mean, there's a lot of games that are like that where you
Correct.
don't gain anything and it's like, why am I doing this? It's taking up time. So I'm glad to see like if you want to sit around for 2 hours and just
Yeah,
grind and fight enemies and level up and get OP, then great.
yeah. I feel like I am a little overpowered. It's funny too when I started the game. If you're a fan of Paper Mario, you'll remember like first attack, or you
Hmm.
could is always very important, right? You want to jump or hit the enemy before they hit you because
Right.
then you get first turn. So in the beginning of the game, I kept trying to like strategically jump on them or whatever. This game, it does not matter. You always go
Oh,
first. There's no such thing as first attack or they hit you first. You just walk into them. So
okay.
once you get that, it took me a good 30 minutes because I was just so natural for that.
Instinctual. Yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, that was just another one. But yeah, you definitely compare. There's so many. You can see a lot of stuff that came from that game that merged into Paper Mario. Being such a big fan of that series. So
Yeah.
this is great. This is gonna go down as definitely one of my, you know, fun and favorite games.
I can't wait to play it. I've never played it either, and
Yeah, you're gonna love it.
I had to choose one, and I figured I'll do Tactica because I know a bunch of people play
Yep.
RPG. So
And I am
I
playing
can't
it
wait.
with no guide. I'm not I'm trying to figure out everything myself, and for the most part, it's the perfect difficulty balance where you're like, "Oh, wait, I think somebody said they wanted that. Who was that?" And then how you solving puzzles. I mean, there's definitely probably hidden things that I'm not finding right away. Maybe once I beat the game, I'll go back and try to look for some, but for the most part, I'm kind of talking to every person, seeing what they have to say, and then going to explore the areas to try to find it.
Hmm.
But
Sweet,
yeah, Mario RPG, loving it.
very good. All right. Well, we kicked off our Presents After Dark 2023. This is the second year, right?
Second, yes, I know it is your
Last year.
second. I do a little stumbled over there last time.
I
Yeah.
know. I feel like we've done this more, but we started it last year. This is our Secret Santa, and we had a really fun time last year. We had about 18 people do it last year. So far, we've
Hmm.
recruited 14 people, so we want to try to at least match what we did last year.
Hmm.
If you are not in the deadline to register, because you're going to have to register,
Yep.
is Saturday night, November 25th, 11:59 p.m. Eastern time. And we will give assignments out sometime the next day,
Mm.
so that everyone can get started doing their shopping. You're going to know who you're going to be buying for, and a lot of us we know a lot of each other, so you kind of have a good idea of what you're going to do. I know last year I
Yep.
got Jesse, and I got him some Dragon Quest stuff. But the rules are pretty just straightforward. It's just a normal Secret Santa. You're going to be assigned somebody. You have to buy them a gift. I think I just said like in the range of $20 to $25. Don't go
Yeah.
crazy.
Yep. If
Uh,
you want to save on shipping, like you can direct ship from Amazon and stuff like that. You're gonna have their address. If you don't want to, I mean, it's hard to say. Try not to include shipping costs in that $20 to $30 because that could take half of it. It's hard to really. You guys do what you can afford. Do what you're comfortable with.
yep,
But remember, this is a secret, right? So don't contact your person and say, "What do you like?" If you're really stumped and you don't know what to get, contact myself or John, and we'll reach out to that person and
yep,
say, "Hey, your Secret Santa's having a really hard time figuring out what to get you. What are three things you like?"
right,
Um,
yep,
and sometimes last year we encouraged people to post it. You're welcome to do that if that makes you feel comfortable. At the end of the day, these are supposed to be fun, joke gifts, and if there's something you get and that's usable and you love it, it's a bonus.
yeah. What's nice about it too is we're in a Nintendo Discord, so we all
Yep.
pretty much should like Nintendo. You can get more specific with things, but it's always a safe bet. Nintendo's
Mhm.
a pretty good, it's a good bet. And if you're gonna send something directly from Amazon, which is perfectly fine, you might let us know, and we'll let that person know that something is coming to them from Amazon, so they're not completely thrown off. Sometimes
Mhm.
people get something and they're like, "I didn't order this," and they think it's a mistake and whatever. So let us know, and we can communicate with your receiver. So again, register by Saturday night, 11:59 p.m. Eastern time, November 25th. You'll get your assignment the 26th, and then what we're asking is send your gift out no later than Friday, December 15th. We would like
Mhm.
things to get to your Secret Santa by Christmas. There's really not many worst feelings in this thing when you've sent your gift and they loved it, and like 2 weeks later you still haven't gotten one, and you just don't know where it is or if somebody forgot you. We will keep track of who got their gifts, who didn't. We have to do that. But yeah, try to send it out on time. We recommend sooner. We're giving
Mhm.
plenty of time. I mean, this is like 3 weeks.
Yeah, do it sooner. Just do
So
it sooner.
try to do it sooner. No rush, but like get it out
Yeah.
there, get it done.
Yep.
Um,
I will say too, we did this last year. It was great. It was so much fun seeing it all. Is take if you want video when you open it, and if you don't feel comfortable doing video, just take pictures of everything you got. People love seeing what other people got and shared with each other. It's a lot of fun. So definitely we encourage that. Definitely.
yeah, I think I love to see the reaction of people get the thing that I got them.
Hmm.
So, to register, just DM either me or Drew on the Nintendo Dad's Discord. Give us your full name and your address, and triple check your address. Make sure you are giving us an accurate address,
Hmm.
because if you mess it up, it's not going to get there. So just triple check it. Make sure you got it right. Cool. That's it.
That's
We
it.
also have a monthly mayhem going on. This is the Super Mario Brothers Wonder Mayhem. It's a 4 round contest. We are through 3. And let me see. I updated the leaderboard
You did.
today. So right now in first place is Texas Trey with 51 points. Second place is Beer Cerveza with 49 points. And in third place is our very own Bob Cousy with 47 points. It is a
Woo, woo.
close competition. And right now we are doing, what is the name of it? The Sunbaked Skirmish KO level, KO arena. And really, it's anybody's ball game. Anybody
Yeah.
who wins this round has a really good chance of at least tying for first place.
I
So
agree.
it's exciting. It's been fun. You've participated in this. What do you think about it? Have you seen the competition going on? It's pretty insane.
It's unbelievable. I mean, the some of the videos and stuff that they sent, and I these this is how mayhem was came into existence. Competitions like this where people post their times and people just try to beat it. That's like the fun of it. Don't wait to the last minute, guys. Like, get the competition rolling. You want people to, challenge it and try. That's the fun part of it.
Yeah. I think it's pretty much anybody's ball game at this point.
Hmm.
Um, uh, but that finishes up on the 23rd. So make sure you get your scores in by the end of the day, the 23rd. That'd be midnight Eastern time, 11:59 p.m. Eastern time on the 23rd. So it's coming up, just a few days.
Hmm.
That's been a good contest. Wonder is amazing. It's a really great game.
It really is.
And Kuzi like posted a video of him getting it just an insane time, and it
Yeah,
was
that
like
was ridiculous.
amazing to watch the strategy there, where he
Like
ran to
the
the
wall
end of the
jump.
level and then kind
Yeah.
of returned back.
Yep.
Insane.
Agreed.
All right. Also this week, I mean, not in Nintendo Dads and Nintendo Dads After Dark news. The Game Award nominees were announced. Jeff Keighley announced these. What was it? A couple Mondays ago, or I can't remember. It feels like forever ago. Honestly,
Hmm.
a lot of great representation by Nintendo. In fact, I think Nintendo had the most nominations overall. Um,
Yep.
and what I think was the biggest surprise for me, anyway, is that Super Mario Brothers Wonder made it into the Game of the Year nomination list. That is something I did not expect, because this whole contest seems to be, I mean, just going by announcements and the games and the crowd, this is more about kind of edgier PC and hardcore gaming, console
Hmm.
gaming. And to see Tears of the Kingdom, which you knew was going to be nominated, but then a 2D Super Mario Brothers game get nominated, taking up a third of them. I was
Yeah.
pretty shocked by this. What did you think?
No, I mean, I agree with you too. It's when you look at the other games in the category, it doesn't necessarily fit. I mean, it's simple as that. I mean, they're all pretty much open worlds, exploration, story driven games,
Hmm.
right? Um, shows Wonder has a little bit of magic in there. I mean, I don't think it has a chance of winning, to be honest, compared to these other games and knowing the audience and the crowd of who's voting and whatnot.
Yeah,
I'm not even sure Tears of the Kingdom will win, to be honest, but
I think they got
I
a
don't know.
shot.
I think it does. Looking at the list, it has a shot. I mean, again, I haven't played a lot of these because they're not Nintendo, but if I had to pick one of the other four, let's just say, based on this is someone from the outside looking in, John, right? Just seeing the hype on the internet and the videos and everything everyone has been talking about. My personal pick would be Boulder Gate 3.
Hmm. I
But
think that's the favorite going in.
that again, that's just me seeing and seeing what the internet has been talking about for the last 12 months. And I think
Hmm.
that one has been the most talked about, the most relevant that I've been seeing.
Yeah. Yeah, my personal winner would be Tears of the Kingdom, but the thing about Baldur's Gate is a little more recency bias, and it has more replayability. People have played through 100 hours plus of the game and then started another game. Whereas I think with Tears of the Kingdom, I know that I'll replay Tears of the Kingdom down the road, but certainly not ready for it now.
Hmm.
Whereas Baldur's Gate 3, you can get a completely different story. In fact, I want to play through it during Christmas break again.
Jeez.
And yeah, I think with all the other games, I mean, Spider-Man 2 is incredible. I had such a blast with that game. But again, once you finish it up, you're kind of done. In a couple years, I'm sure play it again. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think Baldur's Gate 3 is the leader, but I can see Tears of the Kingdom winning, and I think it should win. Because as much fun as I had with Baldur's Gate 3, it is hard to top, an action game where you're using a sword and using items and you can just sit back and veg a little bit and have fun. Baldur's Gate was always so cerebral and methodical and positioning your characters. And I enjoyed the game a ton, but it was a hard game to just simply relax to. So
Hmm.
I would choose Tears of the Kingdom for sure. A lot of other categories that Nintendo games are in. The one that's always interesting on the Nintendo side is best family game.
Yep.
Was curious to see, is Nintendo dominating this category? But this year was Disney Illusion Island got a nomination. Um,
I'm shocked by that.
it's just one of those games. You're just like, yeah, I get it. It's family, but yeah, you're right. It's probably the least good game on the list. Party Animals somehow got nominated for this one, and then it was Pikmin 4 and Super Mario Wonder for Nintendo. But Sonic Superstars, not a surprise, also got a nomination here as well.
I think that's where Wonder takes home that one.
I have a feeling Wonder will be. The other one was multiplayer, and if I remember right, where are you? Best multiplayer game? Best multiplayer.
I will say I had a lot of fun multiplayer with that game.
Some people loved it, and some people didn't
I
like
thought it
it.
was great. I thought it was genius, the standees and the ghosts, and
Hmm.
I'm not gonna lie, some of those star levels, the ghost or standees helped saved me a few times.
Oh my god, yeah,
Like and like when you're the ghost and you're jamming out and you're like, no, 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 come save me, save me, save. Like
yeah.
it's intense. It was fun. I thought it was a cool little concept.
And people always seemed willing to come and help you. Like they
Yeah,
could
like
they could just ignore you, but I've seen people like come backwards and like, let me help this dude
agree.
out, who I don't even know who it is,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
I'm gonna help you out. Yeah, best multiplayer game: Baldur's Gate 3, Diablo 4, Party Animals, Street Fighter 6, Super Mario Brothers Wonder. I'm really curious about that one.
How about Advance Wars 1 and 2 getting in for best sim or strategy game?
I mean, it makes sense. I don't know if it'll win, and it's
I
it's
mean, it's
just
not
a
better than
it's
Fire Emblem Engage is better than that.
I mean, yeah, like it shouldn't win because I mean, Engage was better. Plus, it's almost like a remaster.
Would you consider Pikmin 4 in that category, or is that an oddball?
Um, Pikmin has always been an oddball genre. I mean, what would you peg it as? It's
I
kind
guess
of
it's a
like,
strategy. It's a strategy game,
yeah,
I
if you
guess.
if you think about like those classic games like StarCraft, Warcraft, you're really doing the same thing. It's just the mechanics are a little bit different. You're taking characters, you're making them do things, and that's kind
Mhm.
of like, a RTS sort of thing. I don't know who will win this one. City Skylines 2 is that's the sim, and then you have the strategy. So
Yeah.
it just feels like they lumped these in. I don't know how a sim and a strategy are the same, but I can see Pikmin 4 just winning the category.
Yeah.
Um, what else was interesting? But like there's I thought Nintendo did great, got represented
Yeah.
well, and yeah. What about RPG? What were the RPGs? Best RPG, Baldur's Gate 3. I feel like Baldur's Gate 3 got nominated for every
What
award.
when is this award show?
It should be early December.
Mm.
Should be early
Looking at most
December, and you can vote.
anticipated.
You can vote for these. You have to sign in or make an
Yeah.
account, but
Will Hades 2 win most anticipated?
it looks like December 7th. You
Oh.
know, the most anticipated is probably either going to be Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth or Hades 2. I can't see Rebirth losing this category, but that definitely seems like
Surprise,
it.
Avatar's not in here.
Well, Avatar's coming out.
That day, apparently, it's December 7th.
I think it's the 9th, right?
Avatar? I thought it was maybe the 8th? Oh,
It is. Oh no, you're right. It is the 7th.
I still gotta figure out how that's gonna work.
What do you mean?
I'm with Luna, I might just gonna have to buy the game. Or can I didn't or can I just
Do
do the
you still not
subscription?
know how that's going to be available on Luna?
I mean, it's gonna be available. It said it was going to be.
Yeah,
And I
like you have to buy an expanded pack or something like that. It still feels weird that they're just going to give that one away.
well, they charge $18 a month for
Oh, the
Ubisoft
Ubisoft.
the
I see.
Ubisoft,
So
yeah,
you're gonna
so
basically spring for that for as long as you're playing Avatar, and then like, do they
yeah.
think people are gonna subscribe to Ubisoft and then sort of let it go forever? I mean, you know,
What's it called? The Last Frontier, right?
Frontiers of Pandora.
Frontiers. Let me see. Come back to me later. I'm gonna look on Amazon and see if it lists as like coming soon or anything.
Yeah, I mean, our Amazon Luna customers that are listening to this podcast are just on the edge of their seat right now. How am I
Listen,
gonna play this? It
so
does make
it's
you wonder. I saw online somebody had a complaint saying like, why are you announcing the nominees like in early part of November? I mean, you're announcing nominees almost 10 months into a year. Does
mhm.
this mean, I mean, technically Avatar should be eligible for Game of the Year next year, but it'll be a 2023 game.
Yeah, like why not
So,
have this? Why not have the award show in January? Like, why did they do
yes.
that?
I think part of it is it's the season, January is just this cold, dead month.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a good time to do it.
It does make you wonder though, how come they don't try to release these games before the Game of the Year awards? Because if forgetting all that, like Game of the Year awards, just they happen the first week of December, and there's a lot of gamers that are like paying attention to it. And I look at the nominees for game ideas. I do. And so why didn't they try to just make sure to release Avatar 3 weeks earlier
Mhm.
than what they're doing? They could have maybe got a nomination. They probably would have gotten at least one nomination, if not Game of the Year. I mean, something, right?
Yeah.
So why did they get it? So late. You can make the same argument for Mario RPG. You can make the same argument for Persona 5, but I don't think those two have the possibility to get significant
Mhm.
award nominations like an Avatar would.
Agreed.
So, but I'll be curious to see if Avatar actually gets nominated next year. Like, I'll actually remember that this game came out after the nominations. So,
Yeah, I'm
can it?
not sure. So looking right now, I mean, the only option is $18 per month. You can cancel anytime.
Right.
Is it just gonna pop up here December 7th and I'm just gonna be able to play it?
I mean, it should. So, I mean, you're probably gonna subscribe that day, and you'll either pay for the month or
Prorate it,
maybe a
yeah.
little bit more or whatever. Um, yeah. I
I,
mean,
yeah, I find it odd that they're just not even like advertising it.
it's not
Wait a
top of the
minute.
line console.
So hold on a second. No, but if I'm on Luna's homepage right now,
Yeah. It
purchase
should be as clear as day. They should be advertising and
subscription
pushing it. They should be like out there going, play it for just for
so
$18 subscription. I mean, they don't want to sit there and say, just do it for a month and then you
but
can cancel. Like,
this is interesting. I don't know what this means. So it says Black Friday up 75% off. Ubisoft. Assassin's Creed Valhalla, $15. So can I just buy is it a cloud version of Valhalla for $15 and I don't need a subscription? So
you're
I'm
the one
wondering
with Luna, my friend.
yes, here we go. I just clicked the game. I can play it for $18 a month or it's on sale. I can buy Valhalla right now for just $15 and I have to assume it's a cloud version of the game.
It's
So what
absolutely a cloud version because
so when
that's
yeah,
all
how
what
else would it be?
Luna is.
Well, maybe not because should Ubisoft be like a digital version through Ubisoft? But it'd still be cloud, I guess.
Yeah, that's not how Luna works. Luna is a
Yeah,
cloud
no.
system.
So my point is when Avatar comes out, I wonder if it's gonna be the same thing. I can buy it for $70. What's better deal there? Am I gonna beat it in like 3 months and save myself a few bucks?
Yeah,
Or do
no, like you don't play games a second time. You're probably gonna get done with it in a month, just knowing the way you play games.
even if it's 2 months, it's less than $40 for the
Yeah.
game. Yeah, I
I
think
mean,
I
if
just
you
put
were kind of a repeat gamer, I'd say, yeah, just buy it. It's Avatar. You might play it again, but you're not. You're not gonna play it again.
no, I won't play it again.
Yeah.
Plus, it will encourage me to beat it in a month or 2.
Yeah, and then if you have extra time or whatever, you can I mean, I don't know if you
I'll play
will,
I'll
but
p yeah, I'll
play
play another
Valhalla
game.
or something.
Alright, I
Okay.
like that strategy.
All right. Um, we also got Indie World while you were away,
We
and
did.
this one was about 20 minutes long. There was a bunch of games, a good bunch of games, about like 16, 17 games, maybe.
Mhm.
It was a mixed bag. Did you get to watch this?
Nope,
You didn't watch Indie World?
I did not
I
watch.
thought it was just like a hypothetical question, and you were supposed to go, yeah.
Nope, this is probably the first Dredge I've never watched.
I mean, if they said that they're showing an Indie World live stream right now, you would be watching it.
Yeah, but I was just in a different mode. I was on
You're like,
vacation and then
uh,
I saw, like, the list of games, and I'm just like, "Eh," like, nothing that seemed
maybe you're just
great.
reading titles.
I saw a couple once you're on social media, you see, like, Nintendo's posting trailers for individual games and stuff, so you do see a lot of it.
Right.
And you know how I feel about the indie directs. How many guys did the show sitting on couches?
There was several groups of developers. My favorite though was
See?
there was
I
a team
hate
of
that.
there was a team of Italian developers, and the game looked okay. It was called On Your Tail, but I wasn't like, sold on it or anything like that. And then but one of the developers was an Italian woman, and she just starts speaking Italian, and I was like, "I will buy your game. You've convinced me with your
Mhm.
Italian accent." So that was effective.
But you didn't buy it.
I didn't know. I'm not. Yeah, I usually with the indie worlds. I love indie games, but with these indie worlds, I don't usually see a lot. I did like Howl. I played the demo for Howl, and I think it's a very interesting game.
What's weird?
I'll probably play it down the road.
I
There's
don't
just
like
too
the
many
art
games.
style.
Yeah, it's kind of like
Watermark character.
it's like a puzzle game, and you have a certain number of moves or actions you can take, and then they kind of you pre-plan them, and then you hit go, and then it does them all, and you have to kind of get a good feel for like what's going to happen because the enemies are going to react and all that.
Mhm.
So it's a similar to like you know Into the Breach a little bit, I guess. I don't know. I haven't really seen a game like that. It has a pretty art style. I will say oh my gosh, the background music was so like super calming, and my eyelids got so heavy from it.
Hmm.
It made me, it was like putting me to sleep. I was like, I wish there was an option to have just some livelier music because this is like, um, whatever. But no, it was pretty good. I'm probably gonna get it down the road when I need something to play. It was very interesting. Other than that, Braid is an awesome game. They're doing an anniversary edition for it.
Mhm.
I might be in on that. I do know as you get to the tail end of the game, the challenge is so hard. Like it starts off as a fun little time mechanic type game. I don't know if you've ever seen how Braid plays.
Okay, I have
Have you ever
not.
played Braid?
Nope.
It was one of the first games that really played with time. So you're a character, you make some moves, you hit a button, and then your character like does it again, but you have your live version of the character and you can kind of interact. It's gets kind of crazy. So at first it's really fun or whatever. By the end of the game, you're like sitting there going, "Oh," it's like doing pre-calc in your head, and you're like, I'm like, yeah, I can't do this." But it really is. It's an incredible game. I'm probably down for playing it again.
I will
That comes out
say
April next year.
Moonstone Island looked interesting to me. I was like, "This jam looks like something I'd play," and then when it started with the simulator shit, I'm like, "Ugh, why? I'm out." 'Cause, like, that's my type of art style, those are my type of games, you know that I like that, and then I was like, "I don't wanna be farming and shit, I'm
Mm.
out."
Mhm.
But besides that, it looks cool.
There were a lot of games here that were multi-genre.
Yeah.
Backpack Hero looked interesting in the beginning. It was like, in fact, when we were talking about it live in the Discord, I was like, "Oh, this looks good."
Mhm.
And it was like, "Oh, you put your inventory in your backpack, and that becomes like the actions you can take." And then later on, there was like all these other genres kind of smushed into it, and I was like, never mind. This looks like way too much."
Mm.
Uh, the game that you need to play, maybe you and I should play it together. Is where is it? I had it on my list over here. Um, oh gosh, hold on. What is the And it wasn't on this one, although it had a title that was um I'll have to find. Oh, was it Cobalt Core? I think it was Cobalt Core.
That's not on this list.
Not on no, it's not on this list, but you and I might need to pick a time and both play Cobalt Core together. Take a look at that trailer when you get a chance, and it's like a
Mhm.
deck building game with some other mechanics to it, and it looks really cool and colorful. And
Oh,
I have it on
and
my
it
wish list
and
on
kinda, like,
eShop.
simple.
Yeah,
Little
I
simple.
I'm not really necessarily waiting for a sale. It's just there's too much to play right now, but
Like, space themed almost?
yeah, I'm totally excited for Cobalt Core. It's
Where'd
out.
you
It's out already.
where'd you see this trailer or whatever?
I can't remember. It was like a month ago or something, I think. Um, I
Looking
can't
at it now.
remember where I saw that promoted, but yeah, it definitely tickled my fancy.
Huh.
So yeah, bunch of stuff. Uh, they did announce Outer Wilds.
Mhm.
I know they announced this like 3 years ago. I want to know because I've seen this more and more lately with like these presentations that are showing trailers. It looked so bad in the footage. Like the frame rate was like 2. It was like, and so you're never sure if it's the presentation that's sort of messing it up,
Mhm.
but I hope that they like are taking good care to show games in their ideal, like how they're gonna play. Because I was looking at that footage, I was like, "Oh my god, like what is this?" The same
Yep.
thing happened with a Highland song. It was so stuttery. I really hope that's not like a mistake in the presentation. I mean, like if that's the game, then that's the game, fine. But like, it really made me question, like, is this the way the game looks? But if you get a chance to look at that footage of Outer Wilds, I was like, what are they? It looked bad in the presentation. Um, I need to watch the VOD of it, but I don't know. I just hope that they do that. I just hope they're showing it in their best light. All right, so that was Indie World. Yeah, I give it a C, I guess. It didn't do a lot for me,
Hmm.
but yeah, and they didn't have a one more thing. It was very unusual.
Well, nothing left to give.
So I guess I wanted to talk about something that I've noticed with myself over the last, I think, year.
Okay.
I've become much more likely to play easy mode in games, and that is something I've never done before. Never done before.
Well,
I've
I think I'm not gonna say in your defense, but I will say I think a lot of more games are when you start give you the option. Like, here's the difficulties. What do you want to play? Where I
Mhm.
think a lot of games in the past, you'd have to go into the settings and change it. Do you agree with that?
Um,
At least the games
I
I've
don't know
been
if that
playing.
was that's the difference really, but yeah, you're right. They do make it obvious up front.
Hmm.
But normally, like, you want the experience that the developer sort of pre-planned for you, and you're afraid that if you play it in easy mode or you play it, if you play it in easy mode, you feel like you're not really giving it your all, that you're running away from the challenge or something to that effect.
Hmm.
And it's not that I've played a lot of games in easy mode this year, but I'm more willing to just play a game on easy mode, because I just kind of I want to play and I want to see the story, and that's it. Um, And I don't know if that's just I don't know what that is. Like, I know I've heard a lot of people say they kind of do that, and I don't know why. But, like, when I played Baldur's Gate 3, I just went in there saying, "I'm gonna play it on the easiest mode possible," and I assure you it was not easy,
Mhm.
but I never even considered playing it on a normal difficulty mode, and I think a lot of that was based on the fact that Divinity: Original Sin was so hard to me, and I didn't wanna give up on this game. And then the other thing too is I'll play games that are on streaming services on easy mode. I guess because I feel like I'm not cheating myself or something to that effect because I didn't buy the game. But has that happened to you? Do you like change the way you
No,
play a game? Or
it
you
always comes up, and I'm not a hard mode guy, but I'm definitely not an easy mode guy, right? So,
Mhm.
for example, like RPGs are definitely one where like it's not going to be fun for me. Sea of Stars was kind of a good example too. Like I don't know, it's not fun if I want to enjoy the game if I'm just winning every battle and not even having to use items or there's no point in healing. Like, that's not part of the game in my eyes. So I struggle when it comes to that. I'm just a normal mode guy. I like a little bit of challenge, but I want to be able to not have to spend an extra 10 hours playing the game either.
Mhm. Yeah.
So I'm somewhere in the middle.
Do you remember in Sea of Stars when you could get those little I can't remember what they called them. Were they relics or
Yeah,
something?
whatever they
But
were. Yep.
yeah, you could buy them and it would make certain elements of the game a little bit easier.
Correct.
That was super interesting.
Well, Sea
Um,
Stars was its own world because I just wanted to be done with that game. So I did turn some of those things on, and then I still didn't finish it.
Sea of Stars didn't get did Sea of Stars get any did it get
I
any Game
Yeah,
Award nominations?
there was one. I did see one. I forget which category it was.
I was legit shocked that it didn't like an indie game didn't get a Game of the Year nomination.
I don't know.
Um,
It kind of I think it overstayed its welcome, personally. I know RPGs are long, but I think it overstayed its welcome.
I know. I personally did not love it. Oh, it got 2 nominations, Best RPG and Best Independent Game.
Okay.
I didn't love it either.
Hmm.
It was pretty. It had great music. It had all the elements, but it didn't come together for me. But I still expecting it to get a Game of the Year nomination, and it didn't. But it did get 2. So that's not terrible. That's not terrible, I guess. Yeah, I
Hmm.
definitely think playing more complicated games on an easy mode is the way I kind of want to play now. Honestly, if I could play Sekiro on easy mode, I would have chosen
Hmm.
it, but it's unfortunately not available. So that's why I can't finish that game because it's too hard for me. But yeah, overall, I still play a lot of normal mode stuff. But I think I'm getting to the point in my life where um, I'm thoughtful about doing easy
Hmm.
mode. So that's it. Tell me about razors.
So I'm in the market for a new straight razor, John, because I've had the same one for a long time. I need to buy some more disposable razors, and I'm a guy. I have a Gillette razor that has like the vibrate mode on. Right? You have one of those?
No, no, I just have a straight razor.
What do you mean by a straight razor?
What do
Like an
you
old
mean by straight razor?
like a
I
Gillette like 5 blade razor.
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
finished up a long-running Dollar Shave Club glut
Yeah.
of razors that I had,
Yeah.
and then I had this Gillette one. I think
Okay.
Gillette has their own like ordering club. They
Okay. Yeah.
sent
Yeah.
me a blade and a handle like a few years ago, and
Sure.
so I'm just finishing that up. But I actually bought a Harry's starter pack with a few razors that I'm going to try now.
Okay.
That's the extent of what I do.
So, but your razor doesn't have any type of vibration mode or heat mode or anything like that.
Nothing like that.
Just okay. So I mine has like a vibration mode, right? And I don't know, it's comfort. It makes it feel good. I like it. Uh, but I'm gonna go buy a whole. I usually just buy like a 12 pack of blades, and it usually lasts me like I don't know 2 years. Like I don't change them that often. I probably should. But anyways, so I was gonna go buy another 12 pack. I'm like, oh, maybe I'm gonna treat myself to a new razor. So I went on, what's out in the market, what's new technology has come out, and Gillette has a heat-in element razor. So the head heats up to like 112, Fahrenheit, and it's supposed to, warm your face as you're shaving, which is nice because, like a hot towel shave, you always wipe your face and get nice and warm before you shave. So now I'm kind of torn. Do I switch over to this heat model, which doesn't vibrate, or do I stay with my vibration one? So I guess my question for the listeners is, does anybody have like a heated razor and what are their thoughts on it? I'm just curious to see if it's like a scam or is it amazing or what is it? Or do I just maybe keep what I got? I guess that's my dilemma, John, I'm in right now.
Yeah, like, is it a gimmick that it's like it doesn't make your shaving experience any better? It's just a way. I mean, these companies have to figure
Could
out
be.
how to get you to buy a new handle or, a new set
Correct.
of blades or something. Otherwise, you're going to keep using the same stuff.
Exactly,
So
right? So
they
I guess
make
that's
something
my
up.
point. Is just the new gimmick for me to buy, or is it legit an upgrade and it does give you a smoother shave?
Like in 5 years, they're going to have like an ice blade.
Yeah, and it's actually, yeah, we were wrong this whole time.
Right.
So, alright,
That's
I
the
wanna know what people
goal.
think. Does anyone have a heated razor, and what's their thoughts on it? Someone's gotta have one out there, right?
Somebody does.
Well, hopefully a listener.
It wasn't me.
Alright,
Not me. I've actually had this on the list for a while, but for years I used Trello to track all the games I wanted to play and all the games I played.
mhm,
So, and the reason why I do that is at the end of the year, I want to talk about my game of the year. And there's no way I'm going to remember all the shit I played throughout the year, especially at the beginning of the year.
mhm,
And so I've always used Trello. And what I'll do is I'll make a card, I'll put a title on it, I'll go find an animated GIF of the game and what have you. But I've recently, in the last month, switched to the IGN playlist app. I
okay,
heard them talk about this app. Like, if you listen to like NVC or some of the other shows, they always kind of slyly bring it up. It's actually really cool. You should check it out.
really?
But it's the thing that's different about it versus like Trello is, Trello's it's not designed for this sort of thing. But like, so if there's a game that I want to play, here's what it looks like. By the way, I'm just going to show it to Drew here.
Okay.
Don't mind me. But if I want to play a game, if there's a game that's like, so what was the game we just talked about? Was it that core game,
Cobalt something?
Cobalt Core?
Yeah,
So I'm gonna go to my backlog and I'm gonna say add game and I'm gonna type in Cobalt Core and it'll do a quick little search and it'll find it.
yep,
And what's really neat about it is I don't have to go finding animated GIFs or that sort of thing.
mhm.
And when I look at my backlog, I'll see it. And then the thing about it is it'll actually show me that when it was released, who the publisher is, some meta information.
Versus the other app had just whatever you put in.
I mean, the other app, I was just making it up myself. So, like, the
Yeah,
app
yeah, yeah.
didn't know that it was a
No, of
game or
course,
anything.
that's what I'm saying.
And you also, when you finish a game, and I didn't figure this out until I finished my first game, but when you go to your so when you go to play a game, you just click on your backlog and you say edit status, and then you say playing. And then it'll put it in your playing list. And then when you move it from playing to beat or quit, it asks you to review the game. And
Oh,
so it'll like it asks you like what would you rate it? Um and then it gives you like there's a whole bunch of like thumbs up, thumbs down little categories and I usually just
sure.
skip those. You can do a little written review and then it's cool. And then you can see what other people have rated the game. It has the hours to beat in there.
Are all the ratings only through that app? Like, is it not tied into any
It's through
other?
the app. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So,
not like
I
it's
mean,
yeah, gotcha.
you take it for what it is. I'm not like determining a game by
Yeah, yeah,
looking
yeah,
through
yeah.
this, but yeah, and then it'll also tell you what system did you play it on, like that sort of thing. And yeah, so whenever I want to look and see my backlog, like see, I just added it. There
Yeah.
it is. Cobalt Core is on there. Mario RPG, Divinity.
Alright.
Um, yeah, and I'll move things from pause. There's like a paused category, so I can park a game that maybe I might come back to. I'm not sure.
Well,
But I really
mhm,
like it. It's nice. So I had to move my whole Trello list over, and it was kind of painful to like do like a mass, data thing.
mhm.
But yeah, at the end of the year, I have this list now, and I can kind of go through and figure out game of the year stuff and whatever. But it's a free app. It's on iOS. I think it's on Android. But I totally recommend it. I love it. I got rid of my Trello board now, and I have it on my phone with me, and it's a great little resource.
Downloaded.
It's great. It's fantastic. And if you
You
don't want to
said it.
put all your games from this year, or I don't even know if you have it, but you could just just start building out a backlog. Wish list is like for games that I don't own, so I can't put anything on my backlog unless I own it.
Hmm,
And yeah, helps keep track of that stuff. It's very cool.
nice. Very cool.
All right, Drew, I have a game for you.
Oh God. Hope
That's
it's
it.
not as embarrassing as last time, John.
It could be pretty embarrassing. This is Nintendo trivia. The Nintendo Switch is coming to the end of its lifetime, and it's time to look back at the games that were on the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
I've got 4 trivia questions for you. Let's see how good you are. You can play at home. Just play along. Let us know how you did. And but when I ask each question, try to predict if Drew is going to do this or not.
Probably most of them will be no because I suck at trivia. But
Okay.
let's go for it.
All right. Hands on the camera. No Googling on this
I'm
one.
not. Why would I? I'm not. That's not
First
fun.
first question, because you're a Patriot fan. You're a fucking cheater. That's what it is.
Wow. Wow.
All right. Drew,
Mm,
name 4 games on the Nintendo Switch that
mm-hmm.
use the IR camera on the Joy-Con.
The camera? God, I can't name one. 4?
There are more than 4 games that use the IR camera. I need you to name. In fact, there are 11 games in my list that use the Joy-Con camera. Name 4.
WarioWare.
Which one?
Doesn't matter. Just WarioWare.
WarioWare?
Move it.
WarioWare Move It is
What's the
1.
new one? Okay, is that the new
Yeah.
one?
Yep.
1, 2, everybody switch.
Everybody 1, 2 Switch. That's
You know what?
2.
Same thing.
This is a show about accuracy.
Pikmin 4.
What? How do you use it in Pikmin 4?
You didn't ask for explanations. You asked for the name of the game.
I don't believe it. Pikmin 4 has the camera.
Oh, so
Are you just guessing?
sure.
Do I have to verify it?
I mean, where did your 11 come from?
I got a list, but there's no way Pikmin 4 used the camera. I want you to tell me where it uses the camera. This is you're not picking a game that's 4 years old. You're picking a game you just played a few months ago.
The camera. No. Are all Jetbots games? Do any of the Jetbots games use the Joy-Con? No, they don't, do they? It's all
No, they
thumbable.
don't. They don't use the Joy-Cons at all.
Mario Party.
No.
None of them.
Probably should though, right? Surprised actually it doesn't, but
Mm,
I guess you can't because you have multiple people. Only one Joy-Con has the camera, so that would be hard to do.
Animal Crossing.
Okay, you're desperate now. All right,
We could be here all night.
you have failed.
I got 2 done. I got 2 so far.
Animal Crossing. Where in Animal Crossing?
Trombone Party.
Why can't you get the names of the games right?
What's the name of that game?
Trombone Champ. Yes, that is 3.
Yes. Just Dance.
No.
That should. You think it would.
I think the difference is, again, if you have 4 people dancing, you don't have 4 people with, what is it, the right Joy-Con? Yeah.
True. It requires
it would be
both
tricky.
Joy-Con. I know what you're
Yeah.
saying. Instead of one player game. Okay.
If
okay.
every Joy-Con had it, I think then I think you could. You could make an argument. Maybe all the Joy-Cons should have had it, and then
it
more people would have used it.
$120.
I know. It is amazing they did it even on one Joy-Con and then never used it. Like, why are you adding that cost to a Joy-Con and you're not going to use it?
Am I missing an obvious one here?
Maybe. I mean, maybe it's obvious.
Mario Odyssey.
Where do you use it in Mario Odyssey?
That it's irrelevant. That's
You mean
the
do you mean Super Mario Odyssey? No.
yeah, Mario
No.
Odyssey.
No.
It's not in that. I only need one more.
I mean, you've guessed like 12 of them at this point.
You didn't say I couldn't say wrong ones. I guess I
Yeah.
did. One more. Is there a first party games in here still that I'm not? Are they all first party?
They're not all first party, but there are first party games left on this list.
Kirby.
Oh my god. No, you're out.
Fine. I'm out. I did 3. 3's not bad.
You have guessed so many times.
3 is not bad.
You are literally just naming games at this point.
I am proud of myself on this.
You shouldn't be.
I should be.
Animal Crossing?
that was my low point. Give me some
All
other
right.
ones.
You said Everybody Want to Switch. You said WarioWare Move It. You said Trombone Party, which is Trombone Champ. You missed 1-2 Switch.
Oh, come on.
And Nintendo Labo. That's the tough one because it is
Labo.
It is obvious in hindsight. Game Builder Garage also used it. I freaking love Game Builder Garage. I really wish I had the time to play that more. There were some other kind of like shovelware games. This one surprised me. Ninjala used it. Remember Ninjala?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, and then the Brain Training game did, but that never came here, so you wouldn't have seen that. All right.
I'm proud of
Next one.
Okay, ready.
There were 13 games available at launch on launch day for the Nintendo Switch. Drew, name 5 of them.
5? John, we're going to be here all night. God,
we better not be here all night. And if you give me fucking Animal Crossing, it's not going to be.
Zelda.
Breath of the Wild, yes. Put yourself in launch day. What were you playing?
Do they have to have physical cards?
No. Physical parts? You mean like
cards,
is it digital?
Cartridges, yeah.
No. Just any of the games that were available.
Was Golf Story available at launch? Or was that soon after?
I think it was the first year, but it wasn't at launch.
Mario Kart 8?
No.
What?
That came out in April of that came a month and a half later. Which hopefully Mario Kart 9 does the same thing.
Wow. Should we go back to the first question?
So far you have named one. There is at least one that is so obvious it hurts. The rest I'm not so sure if you'll get or not. It just depends what you played.
Mario.
I like that you just say Mario and you're like you're fishing for
just no, what was
I can hear people screaming through their podcast players right now.
Did I play this game?
I don't know. Have you played this game? I think at least 2 of them you've played. I know for sure one of them you've played. No, I got to think at least 2 of them you played, maybe 3.
How many are there?
There are 13.
Oh, I've played 2 more on this list, you're saying?
I think you've played at least 2, possibly 3 of these games. Available day 1.
What was that monster truck dirt racing game? Is that out? I'm thinking on the Wii.
I think that was a Wii launch title. Are you thinking? Is it
what was it? Rally something?
Excite Truck?
Excite Truck. Yeah, that's my guess.
Yeah, that was on Wii.
But it was a launch title, wasn't it? It was.
I don't even know if it was. I'll look that up.
I think it was.
I don't think it was because I probably would have bought it, honestly.
No, it was. I think it was. Um,
November 2006. Is that the Wii release date?
yeah. Oh, is it November '05?
There's no way. I would have bought it if it was available on launch. Wow, it was available on
Listen,
launch.
that right there should get me bonus points that I knew that was a Wii
Amazingly,
launch game.
amazingly, it will not get you bonus points.
Um,
Why did I buy that? I bought like Call of Duty on the Wii launch day. Like I got Ghost Squad, I think. Why didn't I buy a Excite Truck?
Resident Evil 3.
Absolutely not. No. 3.
Resident Evil. That's how it is.
Resident Evil 3. You're never going to get to 5, so I might as well give you some hints.
Okay, give me some hints. Let's
One
lay
of
'em on
these
me.
was an answer on the previous question.
It was? What's the new WarioWare game called?
Move it.
Okay, so it's not that.
So it's not that. It came
It's
out like 2 weeks ago.
not Trombone Champ.
Trombone Jam definitely was not a launch game on the Switch.
I don't even remember the answers I said in the last ones. Pikmin 3.
Jesus Christ.
2?
One of them, okay. One of them has 2 numbers in the title, and it was on the previous question.
2
Fuck.
numbers.
I am so fucking worried about you right now.
You should be.
You manage people?
Oh, man, my memory is so bad. I'm gonna forget their names. I haven't been in work in 10 days.
I guarantee you people are screaming, 1-2 switch.
Oh yeah, that game. That game sucked. I didn't play it.
It was fun once.
I should have known that.
Okay,
one.
this next title was a game you had never played before the marathon. And then your family thought it looked good.
What marathon? Extra Life?
Yeah.
My family thought it looked good.
Mm-hmm.
Spiderhead.
No.
What did my family thought looked good?
You hated it.
Was it not on this? Oh no.
I think you secretly did like it.
I
But
hated it.
your family liked it. I'm so worried for you right now.
God, I can't even probably name if the next question is name 5 games we played during Extra Life. I don't think I would. I don't think I could do it.
Snipper clips. Snipper clips.
That's the name I was thinking of. I hated that. That game sucked. How many games launched?
So other games on this list were Just Dance 2017,
Miserable.
Skylanders Imaginators.
That was on the
crazy. Isn't that crazy? Skylanders was a launch title on the Switch. It feels like it's been gone for a decade. Super Bomberman R. I remember playing that a lot when it launched.
I played Breath of the Wild. That was it.
This one is the first game I ever played on Switch. I Am Setsuna.
Never heard of it.
Snipper Clips, Shovel Knight Treasure Trove.
Didn't play it.
Yeah, you really need to play that one. Fast RMX, and then these 3 games I think are all by the same publisher: World of Goo, Little Inferno, Human Resources Machine.
That was World of Goo was also on the Wii. Listen, the fact that I knew it's Sight Truck gets me 1 extra point.
Yeah,
that's
still doesn't.
That's
still doesn't. All right. Link is one of the most popular characters in Nintendo history.
Sure.
He appears in no less than 8 games on the Switch. Name 6 games that Link appears in on the Nintendo Switch, and it does not include Nintendo Switch Online games.
Oh, man, that's tough. Okay. Well, let's go with the obvious here. Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom.
That's 1. That's 2.
How many do I need?
You need 6 out of the at least 8.
Okay.
I might be missing something. It was really hard to look that one up, but there's at least 8.
Link's Awakening.
That's 3.
You said NSO doesn't count, so like Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask.
Yeah, those don't count.
Wow.
You're halfway there.
Hyrule Warriors. The original, I forget what that one was called. Just Hyrule Warriors, maybe?
Yeah, it's called Definitive Edition on the Switch. That's 4.
And then Hyrule Warriors, the Great Calamity whatever. Sure, you know what I'm talking about.
Age of Calamity. That's
That's
5.
that's the one, the Great Calamity. How many is that?
That's
5?
5. You need one more.
Oh,
You're just there, man. You got
I
this.
got this, I got this. There's no more Hyrule Warriors, there's only 2,
There are only 2 Hyrule Warriors.
and the first one was on the Wii U. I do know that. I got it, John. I fucking got it. Smash Brothers.
Yep, that's 6. You did it. You got it.
Wait, there's 2 more?
There's a bunch more.
Mario
Skyward
Kart
Sword,
and Mario
Mario
Kart.
Kart. Yep,
How did
Mario
I
Kart
forget
8,
Skyward Sword?
Skyward Sword, and Cadence of Hyrule.
Oh, yeah, I never played that one.
Yeah, Link is like sneaky in some of these games.
I think I entered at the other 2. I would never done
I
Cadence.
think you would. I think you would have eventually gotten to
Maybe.
those, but you didn't need to. All right, you got one. All right,
Ooh.
last one.
Okay.
It's the hardest one. Ready?
I'm fucked.
Drew. There are about 15 different models of the Switch that came with a game or were themed around a game.
Mm-hmm.
Name 8 of them.
8 of them. Okay, let's go Mario Kart. Let's go Smash Brothers.
Is there a Mario
I'm
Kart
sorry,
Switch?
but well, there's a bundle. You're saying the Switch has to be themed off of it.
Yes.
Okay, sorry, misunderstood the question. Let's throw an oddball out there. Start with Diablo 3.
Diablo 3 is 1.
Smash Brothers.
That's 2.
Pokemon. You need to know the game. There might have been 2 Pokemons. There was a Pokemon light version, which was gray, right?
Which
Or-
game?
Oh fuck. I don't know. Pokemon. What was the ones before Violet? It's the red one. Sapphire? Not Sapphire. It's Ruby? Nope. What's the I didn't like this one. I played this one and I didn't like it. Am I on the right track there?
Maybe?
There might have been a Violet one. Let's go Violet.
Scarlet and Violet?
Yeah.
Yes.
There was one, and then there was another one.
I think that was an OLED, right? I think that was an OLED.
That one was the OLED. There was an older one though. It must have been Sword and Shield had one.
Sword and Shield?
Sword and Shield. How many is that?
That's 4.
That's it. There was the Mario one that was red and like blue overalls.
What game?
Oh, you want the game? I think that just came out. There was no game with that one. Bowser's Fury, maybe? No? Odyssey?
I'll give it to you. Super Mario 3D World.
And
Fury.
Bowser's Fury. You can't buy 3D World without Fury. It's the same thing. All right. What's that number? 5, 6?
That's
7?
5.
8? Okay. I should just look in your background. You probably have a Monster Hunter.
Which Monster Hunter?
Rise?
That's Rise. Are you up to 6? Need 2 more.
Odyssey didn't have one, right? It did have one.
Mario Odyssey. That's 7.
Did have one.
That one actually came out that first year. Yeah, I think that had the red Joy-Cons.
Tears of the Kingdom?
Tears of the Kingdom. You got it. Got 8.
Lit of that?
The other ones were Splatoon 2, Splatoon 3, Pokemon Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl.
That's the one I was thinking of.
I think that was the Switch Lite.
Yes, the gray one.
There's
right?
like a
gray
no.
blue?
The gray one was Sword and Shield.
Okay.
But they put out like a glossy black one that I think was Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl.
Okay.
Animal Crossing New Horizons had one.
Mm-hmm.
Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee had one.
That had one too?
Yeah, it's a pretty cute one. Had like the yellow and the brown Joy-Cons.
Kirby?
I said Splatoon 2. Fortnite had one.
Fortnite. Kirby didn't have one? A light pink one?
Kirby has not, right? That would
a
pink one would have been so
would
neat.
have been awesome.
Yeah, I would
with like
never
the baby
got
blue
it.
maybe in there.
You would think it would be like a Switch Lite, right?
Paint with the baby blue buttons, a couple little Kirby guys on the back or something.
Yeah. I think they've never done it.
Yeah. Well.
Very weird. All right. Sweet.
Great game,
right.
John. I love your
Yeah.
games. I just suck at them.
Good
I felt,
comeback.
you know what? Out of all the games, that was one of my better performances.
Yeah.
Not saying a lot, but
Um, all right. We got some questions from the audience.
mm,
Uh, Darth Platypus asks, "What is the Christmas song that you think should be in everyone's playlist?" Ooh.
a Christmas
My radio
song.
station is playing Christmas. It started up this
Nice.
past week. Love it.
Yeah.
I love it for now. I usually get bored after a few weeks, but love it. I'm gonna say this to Darth Platypus. My favorite Christmas song is "Christmas in Hollis" by Run DMC, and that whole album, I think it's called "A Very Special Christmas." I basically grew up on that CD. This was like before you could just play songs online or whatever. So we
Hmm.
had this CD. I think it was like a double CD, and so there's tons of songs on this CD that you still hear on the radio a lot. "Santa Baby" by Madonna. There was a Bruce Springsteen did one. "Merry Christmas Baby." Um, "Winter Wonderland" by the Eurythmics. Like just these
Hmm.
songs. Like I just grew up with this thing. We played it all the time. So anything on that list um, will get on mine.
Hmm.
Also, "Frosty the Snowman" by Fiona Apple. Love it. Very
I'm
good.
gonna go on a little different avenue here and go down with the Muppet Christmas Carol. Has a solid soundtrack.
Hmm. Do your kids like the Muppets? 'Cause mine
I mean,
don't.
they don't hate the Muppets, but they're not like into the Muppets. Does that make
Okay.
sense?
And most of the good Muppet stuff is older.
Yeah. Well, did you ever watch the Haunted Mansion Muppets?
No.
You should. It's fun.
Is that new or is that what it?
It came out last Halloween, maybe.
Oh, okay.
It's fun. It's on Disney Plus. Give it a go.
The thing is, my
It's like
kids don't.
25 minutes long.
They just don't like the Muppets. Oh, it's 25 minutes, maybe.
Yeah, Muppets
Um,
are for all ages, John.
yeah, but my kids just they don't like it. They like animated movies. They're not into the puppet thing. It's weird.
Generational thing.
It is totally.
Died with me.
Um, have you ever heard Korn's version of "Kidnap the Sandy Claus"?
I can't say I have there.
That's a special treat.
I'll have to look that one up.
Gotta look that one up.
Okay. It's
There's
on my
two of
list.
them. There's "Kidnap the Sandy Claus," and then Marilyn Manson did the theme song, the first
Uh,
song that plays during "A Nightmare Before
I've heard
Christmas."
that one before.
Yeah, those two are both really good. "Kidnap the Sandy Claus" is so corn, it's crazy, but it's so good.
I'll have to do that one. I'll look that one up.
You got any more?
Nope, that's it.
Did you name any? You named the Muppet one. All right. Next question from Darth Platypus. If you are going to add a booze to eggnog, what is your
Ooh,
go-to? Mine is bourbon. That's
that's what
Darth's.
he said, not what you said.
Yeah, I don't like eggnog. I don't know.
Me either. Eggnog's gross. Not a
Eggnog's
fan.
gross enough. Add like a vodka to it. I don't know how it's gonna make it better.
Yeah. Ugh. Nope. Sorry,
Um,
I did nothing. I don't like eggnog.
yeah, no, not into eggnog. Sorry, Darth. We won't hold it against you. All right.
Mm.
And the next questions come from Beer Cerveza. Do you think there is a new Zelda game in development that will be released in tandem with the upcoming live action movie? I'll stop it right there because you haven't gotten a chance to talk about it. But
Mm.
what do you think about the live action Zelda movie? Are you excited
Yeah,
for it?
I'm
Or
excited. I mean, I think it's too early to really make assumptions or predictions or anything like that. But
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, of course, I'm excited. I think Zelda's an easy. I personally think it's an easy adaptation. I think it's easier than Mario because I think Zelda is a story-driven game where you
Mhm.
can relate that to a movie or TV show where Mario is just kind of this idea of characters, right? With a very high level story, princess gets kidnapped. But Zelda kind of writes itself. I think it's going to be a good action adventure type movie.
Who are you casting as Link?
I'm on the same page with you a little bit of I think no name actors kind of the way to go, but we'll
Mhm.
see.
After watching Timothy how do you pronounce his name? Chalamet.
Shamalai, Shamalay,
He was on
Shamalama.
SNL like a couple weeks ago. Um, I I think you could cast worse than him.
Hmm.
But starting to get a little more well known, and he's in Wonka now. But I think he's hilarious. He's so good on SNL, by the way.
Mhm.
Timothy Chalamet. That's what it is.
Shyamalan.
Um,
But to your point, I do not think that they're making any game alongside with this, and I'll tell you why. I think it's too much of a risk, right? Because if one flops, then you're in trouble, right? So I think that a live action Zelda movie, though it will do well, it will not do nearly as well as the Mario movie did, because an animated film of Mario is open to all ages, including us older Nintendo nerds,
mhm.
where those 7, 8, 10-year-old kids who just heard of Mario before, have seen him in the store, will want to see that. They won't really understand Zelda or Link. So, uh,
Mhm.
I think there's too much risk in making a video game alongside that, because if the movie's a flop, then now you have this game that's tied to it, and it's bleh.
Do you think it would be like a Legend of Zelda the movie, the game type thing, or just a Zelda
No,
game?
I think that's gone. I think we've moved past the early 2000s of video games, really, for the most part. I think there are very few of those nowadays. I think it would just be I just don't think it's happening. Just like Mario didn't happen. Just not gonna happen. I mean, even if Mario Wonder came out at the same time as the movie, it's irrelevant to me. I don't know. Maybe I don't understand
Mhm.
marketing or media, but I can't see someone watching Mario and say, "I'm gonna go to Target and buy a Mario game now."
Right.
Maybe it's me, but I don't see that happening, and I don't think it would happen here either.
I wonder if Super Mario Wonder was supposed to come out a little bit closer to the Mario movie, honestly. Just looking at the animation style and everything, that whimsical, very detailed, beautiful animation just seems to like fit with the movie. And I wonder if Wonder was delayed, and then because I remember they pushed the movie several months, and we weren't sure if it was being delayed because the movie was
Mhm.
delayed or because the game was delayed. But
No,
maybe they decided, here's the date. We're gonna try to get it. If the game's not done, then the game's not done. We'll wait. But
I don't think either. I don't think there's a marketing strategy personally between the 2. I don't think they're connected. I don't think they need to be connected. It's not like the olden days where you would have a video game come out, like, within, like, 1 month of release. So either 1
mhm,
month before the movie or 1 month after. There was a lot of the times you could play the video game before the movie came out, and you could kinda, like, spoil things, right? I
yep,
mean, that was a lot of s stories like Lord of the Rings. It was irrelevant because there was the books already out there, but it happened a lot with, like, James Bond video games and movies. A lot of those things would come out before the movie, and or just after. I think those days are gone,
mhm.
personally, but
I can see a Zelda game coming out in a similar time span. I don't think it would be based on the movie. But I also feel like there's people who think the Zelda movie is years and years away. I actually think this is within a couple years.
well,
This is a live action movie,
I'd say
and
3 years.
see, I feel like that's too far away. I don't
No
think
way. I
I
don't even
don't
think the
think
script's written yet. I don't think they've casted it. I don't think they've
I
started
think
filming it yet.
I think the script's done. I think that this was a exploratory project because it is challenging, right? Link doesn't talk. There's no like single storyline going on. It's like when you made the Last of Us show,
Yeah.
you knew exactly the storyline you're going to do, and you had to make some detailed decisions. Legend of Zelda, like which game are you taking a story from? You got to start
Yeah.
with an original thing. So what I see as happening is they explored it, they worked on a script, they hit a point where they go, we like the direction this is going, and now's the time to announce it. And so I
Yeah.
think they're very far along with it,
I
and
don't
they just
know.
waited.
This
It's not like Miyamoto wrote Sony and said, "Hey, you want to do a movie?" They said yes, and he's like,
I
"Okay, let me
I
tweet."
I agree with that, right? But I think like, pre-production is probably at least a year long. I think the actual filming's a year long, and I think the post-development of it is, like, a year and a half to 2 years long. I don't know where they are in that phase, but a movie of this scale is a 4-year process, right? They might be a year and a half in, they might be a year in. I don't. They might be at day one. I
Do we
don't
do
know.
we but do we know the scale? Like, I mean, are we going for, what kind of scale
You
are
doing
we?
Lord of the Rings scale? I
I
don't
don't
know.
think so. Yeah,
I
I don't know.
I what are you going like?
I'm going Witcher scale. I want to see a Witcher type game with Link.
But I
You ever
think
like
Witcher was a big budget, big scale. Some of their CGI and stuff.
Yeah, but I don't think it took 4 years to make a season of The Witcher. I don't know.
Uh,
I still see
well,
this as coming out in a couple years. The thing is, we just got Tears of the Kingdom this year. We're not gonna get a new mainline Zelda game when this
no, we're
comes
not
out.
getting it. We're not getting it anytime soon.
So maybe you'll get, and I don't even know if you get like a remake. I always wanted to see a nice remake of the original Zelda. I think that'd be great. But I don't think you're gonna get a 2D Zelda with a movie. You're gonna get a 3D. So unless they're gonna put out a Twilight Princess or a Wind Waker for Switch, I don't think you're gonna see a Zelda game in the same. I don't think we're getting another big Zelda game until fairly late into the Switch 2,
I agree.
maybe midway through. Because I think you're going to get a Breath of the Wild re-release. So maybe that's what it is. Maybe the Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, updated remaster. That's definitely going to come to a Switch too. It better. Maybe they put that out.
Hmm.
I think it's the best. He also asked, if so, do you think it will be a remake or a whole new game? Well, there you go. We already answered that one.
There you go.
I'm gonna say they're gonna re-release Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom whenever the movie comes out.
No, 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 no,
Yep, 60 frames a second. Oh, it's gonna be lovely.
no.
Speaking of movies, what are your must-watch movies during the holidays? Are there any that you refuse to watch before Christmas Eve or Christmas Day? Interesting question there. Like, refuse to
Yeah, I don't
watch?
refuse to watch any. I will say some classics that I like. Jingle All the Way is just one of my favorites.
Is that Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Arnold Schwarzenegger,
Okay. I
Turbo Man,
think I've seen
and
that. Oh, that's
Sinbad.
right. When he's trying to get the thing. Yeah.
That's just
That's
a
a good one.
classic. I think you have to watch. My wife doesn't love it, so I'll watch it in bed. Like Christmas Vacation is just
Hmm.
a good classic. What's your take on the Christmas Story? Just I'm not a fan of it. I feel like there's a lot of people that love it. I'm just not a fan of it.
I did not watch the movie. I mean, I've seen clips of it for years, my whole life practically. I did not sit down and watch the whole movie until last year.
Oh, so they made the
And
new one.
no, yeah. And see, so the thing is, I haven't seen the new one. I was gonna see it, and then I just never
Ah,
did. But yeah, no, I watched the movie, and it's a hard watch if you watch it in 2023. It's hard to relate. There's a lot of stuff
yeah,
that's out of date, and like there's jokes you don't get because you're just
yeah.
not living in that time frame. But I love the nostalgia of it. I love the time that it was filmed in, and so it's not the greatest movie now, especially if you watch it for the first time. But I
Mhm.
want to watch it again this year, and then I want to watch the new movie and
Hmm.
see what I think about it. Not my favorite. My new favorite Christmas movie is 8-Bit Christmas.
Yeah, I knew you were going there.
I That movie is so funny and it makes me cry, and I just love all the Nintendo parts of it. It's astounding.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna be watching that one again. You know what else is really good? The Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special.
That's fantastic. That's fun.
It just really puts you in the mood, right?
It does.
I love when Mantis, she just has all the little Christmas
Yeah.
decorations on her things. It's so good.
Drax has gotta be the best character in that
Yeah,
franchise. He's the best.
yeah. It's just a fun. It really puts you in the mood, and I really like it. And plus, it really does set up like the third movie too. Honestly,
Yeah. And don't forget, of course, Noelle, because Anna Kendrick's in it.
that's right. Anna Kent. I still haven't seen that one,
What?
but
You should watch it. It's on Disney Plus, I think.
yeah.
It's
Um,
fine. But it's Anna Kendrick. It's
I will.
funny. It's Bill Hader's in it too. It's her
Oh,
brother.
okay. All
They're
right.
they're both kids of Santa.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Um, we have for the last like dozen or so years watched the Polar Express on Christmas Eve. That's
I
our
enjoy that. Yeah.
Christmas Eve get in the mood type movie. I don't know if we'll do that this year. I think it's become like, oh, we got to watch Polar Express again. So
Yeah.
we might have to change it up. But Yeah, we've watched that. I still think it's an incredible movie. It's done so well. I will add, and this is not anywhere close to my favorite Christmas movie, but I had a coworker and he talked about this movie White Christmas,
Oh boy,
and he's like, "Oh, we watch it every year and all that." And I was like, "I've never even heard of it." Have you seen White Christmas?
I think so, but
So
maybe
this
not.
it's an old
Yeah,
movie,
yeah, I've heard of it. I just don't remember it. I know what
right?
it is.
I think like Bing Crosby's in it, and I
Yeah.
think one of the songs you hear on the radio all the time is right
Yep.
from this movie. It is. I mean, I mean, it really is a white Christmas. This movie is very, very white and very old. And it's also one of those weird. God, when they made those movies in like the '60s, it's so weird. I always try to tell Michelle this. Nowadays, when they make movies, they really try to feature younger, hotter actors and actresses. And
Mhm.
it's like, you hit 30, 40, you're already old. In the old days, man, they always had older people, crooners, like
Yeah.
the main actors were older. They skewed older. They also looked older because even like 35-year-olds looked old back in the day. And like in this movie, it's a couple of old dudes and they're totally flirting and getting it on with these young women. And it's just like, it's so creepy. Like they don't make that anymore. They just don't really do that.
I think we're
Uh,
definitely gonna have to do a little Christmas episode in the near future and talk about maybe some top Christmas movies, 'cause there's a lot out there, and we're gonna be starting to watch them soon, so we'll have to do some updates
yeah.
like we did with the Halloween stuff.
I will also say I'm kind of sick of Elf. Elf is an incredibly good Christmas
I
movie, but seen
but
it too many times.
I'm over Elf. I
Yeah,
agree with that
there's only
assessment.
so many times you can watch it.
Yep,
But yeah, anything's on the table. I don't wait for Christmas or anything to
yep.
watch any movie. Um, that's it. That's
That's
all our
it. That's the
questions.
show. Well, John, what do we have coming up in the next couple of weeks?
We finally died down. We
Finally.
finally died down. There's 3 good games coming out all on December 1st, oddly enough. Steam World Build,
Mm,
which is the city builder game from the Steam World peoples. I'm very excited to see what that looks like. Dragon Quest Monsters: The Dark Prince, which isn't that the Dragon Quest game that you played? Dragon Quest
no, I played
Monsters?
Treasures.
Oh, Treasures. Okay.
I know because I got excited when I saw this, and then I was like, "No, this is the one like Pokemon. I'm out."
Mm-hmm.
And I yeah.
Don't tell Evan. Don't tell Evan. And
He
then
does like, Dragon Quest.
this was supposed to come out sooner, but it got delayed. The Batman Arkham trilogy comes out December 1st as well. So I'm still split on that. I just feel like
Mhm.
those games are gonna feel too old. I
Yeah,
haven't played any of them,
me
and
either.
I don't know.
I
I
don't
feel like they're just gonna feel kind of old.
I
I'm a
love
little
a good
worried.
beat 'em up game, but there's too many newer ones. Like, it's
Mm-hmm.
just
Yeah. I could definitely see grabbing that when it's like on a sale in the future just to have it, but yeah, I'm afraid I'm not gonna like it. But those are all coming out December 1st. And yeah, we're starting to run down this year. It has been a frantic last few months, and I'm kind of glad it's done. That's it. That's all we got.
what a show.
What a show!
Until next time, remember, sign up for Presents After Dark. Do not forget, this is your last chance that we're gonna tell you.
That's right. Well, we're going to tell you a lot in Discord. The last chance on a podcast.
That's true.
All right, and get your mayhem scores in by the 23rd. But until then, we'll see you in a couple weeks.
Happy Thanksgiving.
That's right. That's right. It's not just Christmas yet. We still got Thanksgiving. We haven't even talked about Thanksgiving. All right, we won't. Good night, dads. Eat some turkey. The Dads After Dark show is part of the Nintendo Dads family of podcasts. You can subscribe to us anywhere podcasts are available. If you're listening through Apple or Spotify, please leave us a 5-star review. It helps us promote our show, and we'd be grateful to hear your feedback. Check us out on Threads and Instagram at @NDadsAfterDark. Send us a question to dadsafterdarkshow@gmail.com, and we'll read it on the show. Or if you want to hear yourself on the show, leave us a voicemail. See the episode description for a link to do that. Be sure to join us on Discord in our Dads After Dark channels. That's where we chat. You can participate in our monthly Mayhem contest, plus other activities such as Chubbies and so on. You can get access by joining the Nintendo Dads Patreon or by subscribing to their Twitch channel. A big thank you to Family Jewels for the show's music. Check out their YouTube to hear other awesome Nintendo cover tunes.